Anti-derivative Jill. Anti-derivative Jill.
The women!
Woochie, woochie, coochie, coo, Captain.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Would you make me some of that Plomeek soup? Greetings, greetings, and felicitations.
Yes. What is it about that original run of episodes that you think holds up? I mean, what endures after
The stories, the characters.
And we get one of the most amazing insult speeches ever.
All right, you mutinous, disloyal, computerized half-breed. We'll see about you deserting my ship.
The term half-breed is somewhat applicable, but computerized is inaccurate. A machine can be computerized, not a man.
What makes you think you're a man? You're an overgrown jackrabbit, an elf with a hyperactive thyroid.
Jim, I don't understand.
Of course you don't understand. You don't have the brains to understand. All you have is printed circuits.
Captain, if you'll excuse me.
What can you expect from a simpering, devil-eared freak whose father was a computer and his mother an encyclopedia?
My mother was a teacher, my father an ambassador.
Your father was a computer like his son, an ambassador from a planet of traitors. A Vulcan never lived who had an ounce of integrity.
Captain, please don't.
You're a traitor from a race of traitors, disloyal to the core, rotten like the rest of your subhuman race, and you've got the gall to make love to that girl.
That's it, damn it. No, just kidding. That's it.
Does she know what she's getting, Spock? A carcass full of memory banks who should be squatting in a mushroom instead of passing himself off as a man? You belong in a circus, Spock, not a starship, right next to the dog-faced boy.
Hey, I knew a dog-faced boy.
I am a dog-faced pony soldier.
Thank you. That was amazing.
For the first time in my life, I was happy.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime number 143, and we are here today to honor Star Trek's 60th anniversary. We're doing this every single month. Every month we choose one bridge member to talk about. Let's see, hold on.
Oh,
check something here.
You made
hold on. Wait a second. Max, not yet. Thank you for joining us, though. And okay, on to the, of course, today we're celebrating Leonard Nimoy, and so we're dedicating our time to him today. Spock is my favorite Star Trek character, and Leonard Nimoy was a big part in bringing that character to life, along with the other creators of Star Trek, DC Fontana, Gene Kuhn, and Gene Roddenberry. And oh man, his dedication to make that role even more outstanding really helped Star Trek have extra meaning. And let's do this for just a second. Oh my goodness. Okay, so and we'll enjoy other things that Nimoy's done in his life. There's so much to talk about today, so I love him very much. So let's talk about him. And so, of course, Spock, as a wonderful character, explores the human condition, even though, of course, he's only half human. But it's just amazing. It's just a great time. I read I Am Spock, but I have not read I Am Not Spock. But as I understand it, I did read a little bit of it, and it does kind of have some of the same material in it. And I'm interested to see where it diverges. Obviously, I Am Not Spock was written longer ago, and it was in the 70s, and of course, I Am Spock is more recent. Oh, but I love I Am Spock because it's just such a wonderful, heartwarming thing to hear Leonard Nimoy talk to Spock in his head. He apparently, if it is that book is to be believed, he did have lots of conversations with the Vulcan, and a lot of his decision making as a creator, as a director, author, actor, poet, musician, photographer, and stage actor, and he's done so many great stuff that we're going to talk about today. And so Oh yeah, and just yesterday it was his birthday. Right, and with William Shatner's 95th birthday just a few days ago, and Leonard Nimoy's 95th yesterday. So we can, yeah, we can say this, of course. Uh-oh. We'll play this one.
Except, of course, happy birthday. Surely the best of times.
And so let's explore what makes him wonderful. And there's so much to talk about. But first, I'd like to welcome our panelists. We've got some people here who want to talk about Leonard too. Hello and welcome to Scotty R37. How are you today?
Living long and prospering, Thanks for having me aboard.
You're welcome. Oh no. Okay, channel members cannot access the channel link today because I sent it out but they can't access it because my channel's been briefly demonetized. Hopefully I'll bring that back with an appeal today like I did last time. But you know what? I guess I'll put the link in the chat, but I'm only going to bring you up if I know who you are and if you've been on the panel before. So let me put that in there. DJ Play, it looks like DJ Play Nice might want to join us. So there you go. DJ Play Nice, that's for you. And for any other members, yeah, that definitely complicates matters, doesn't it? I like to include people here, but it's difficult to do that when YouTube decides you can't play anymore. And so, of course, so there you go. And also, hello and welcome to Tiger Stripes. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm really happy to be able to be here to celebrate Leonard Nimoy. My love for him is pretty deep. I also read the first book, but not the second one. It makes me feel like a slacker. I'm going to have to go get hold of that second one someday and read it.
You read I'm Not Spock? I read
it ages ago, I think, when it was close to being new. I probably have a copy of it somewhere. I have a lot of books. Neat. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Actually, I should have my Vulcan avatar on today. There we are. So,
and
beautiful. Also, thank you to Max Redstone for joining us. That's a really cute avatar. Look at that.
Well, I'm okay. How are you?
Wonderful.
That is a splendid avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have not read the books about Leonard Nimoy, but what fascinates me about the man is his struggles. He struggled with many. He had a lot of struggles with alcohol and other things, and it's like I kind of identify with how he found stardom, but he found it really boring at some point. But he powered through it.
Yeah, he always he would cover up his alcoholism by saying that he wouldn't drink until his work was over, and immediately, and then that started to creep into as soon as his work was over, he got something, and so that was definitely.
And it's I find it fascinating. It's something I identify with when it comes to Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. And I want to welcome everybody who's here in the chat too. Oh, right. We're not going to click on that. Yeah, YouTube. Yep. YouTube AI is a total failure, demonetizing great channels for no reason. Fix this, YouTube. Yes. Yes.
My theory is that they gave us all the @ names is so that they can do bulk demonetizations.
Well, that is exactly what's happening. So, and hello to Christian Fandom Geek. Great to see you. Here's his channel. He's got a channel here. And Tim, FKHC 2005. If we give to the tip link, do you get the whole thing? Not like here. I think I get more than I do here, but they do get a cut.
Tim the Enchanter.
Franco Walker, hello to you. Hit the like,
Franco.
folks. I nearly missed it. Not used to 4 p.m. start? Oh, don't I always start at 11 a.m.? Interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad you made it. And let's see who else we have here today. DJ Play Nice says, when are you unpausing channel membership? As soon as this live stream, like whenever I get back home later on tonight, I'm gonna make another appeal video and see if I can get the monetization back up. If not, then I'll just try again in 90 days.
Well,
Heaven Theme Park Adventure, hello.
you could do the network approach. Just make a video that says, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I'm good. I'll deal with it my own way. And your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled it. Elderberries, yeah. That is another reason to love that exchange. I loved that reading from Pop Culture Curator and Scotty R37. That was so fun. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, you really nailed the word brain, Scotty.
Oh, thank you.
Brain. That whole Shatner thing. Well done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's the panel. If you have a good mic and internet connection and you know a lot about Leonard Nimoy, or you just want to talk about Spock or his other roles and other things he's been in, which is what we're going to get into here in just a bit. Pacific 414 says, hello all. I hope you're all doing well today. Yeah, YouTube ruins everyone's fun. Yeah, I just have to remember what I'm really here for, and that's to hang out with you guys and talk about fun stuff. And I'm still capable of doing that, so we're going to focus on that during the stream. LFG.
Let's effing go!
Let's effing go!
Did Brown Alliance get demolished? I don't know. I actually haven't been there in a little bit. I have no idea. I hope not. I like him. He's another great channel that wouldn't deserve that either. But I wouldn't be surprised these days. Goodness. Anyway, there's a brief little biography here. I'll go through this one. He was born in Massachusetts and in Boston, March 26, 1931. The son of Ukrainian Jewish immigrants, Max and Dora Nimoy. Oh yeah, there was a story I read in the book where he visited the Ukraine and they didn't want to go because they thought they might be deported or something. So, but he went and he took pictures and talked to, went to and brought pictures back to his parents. But that was pretty sad. It's kind of a sad story. Shortly after that, they both died, like his dad and then his mom. Sad. And of course, he had 2 kids, Julie and Adam. Well, of course, we know a lot more about Adam than Julie. Julie is, but she is a creator too. She does directing things and stuff, and we'll talk about her a little later. And so let's see. He went to I didn't even know where he went to school. Boston English High School. His first stage performance was Hansel and Gretel when he was 8 years old, and then in Hollywood.
Hansel?
Yes, I did the Bugs Bunny thing. I don't know why.
Yes.
So after, so his first breakout role was Kid Monk Baroni, and when I first looked at that, I thought that doesn't look like Nimoy. That's because he was covered in all these prosthetics to look different, which he really liked that role. He actually enjoys these roles. What really made him want to be an actor, I think, was he mentions it in both books that he went to go see a performance of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he had always identified with those kind of characters who are alien or other, or and that is that's something that he definitely brought into Spock, no doubt. And then of course he was in the army. Oh yeah, if you look at this collage that somebody made, wonderful somebody, you can see that here. Sergeant Leonard Simon Nimoy.
Wow.
I didn't even know the Simon part. Look at that. And so that's picture.
Quality collaging.
Yeah, isn't it? This is like A+ skull work here. Look at all these pictures. I love it. And so let's bring everybody back and go back to this. Okay, so of course we'll also talk about other TV series he's been in today. Oh, I didn't know he was in Dragon Train. Man from U.N.C.L.E. I did know about. I didn't know about Rawhide, Perry Mason, or Combat. I don't know.
Mission Impossible.
Oh, Mission Impossible is a big one. I do have that one on my list of things to talk about today. And of course Star Trek. And then of course we'll talk about his directing.
He was a background actor. He was kind of lucky if he had a line or two.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and then we'll talk about his directing. And I don't know how much we're going to talk about this, but he's also a photographer and a poet, and he's got poetry books. And he's done so many things. So
he also, was a social activist, but not the kind of up your nose one, just the guy who actually got things done. I just learned researching him yesterday that he got equal pay for Nichelle Nichols on the show. And that's amazing in that era. It was just, to this day, it can be it's often not done when you would think it would be. So
it is pretty incredible
that he lobbied for her and made it happen. It's amazing.
It's incredible, especially because they didn't want to sign her like on a contract, and so she got paid per episode. And so if he helped with that, although actually I think oddly enough she ended up getting, more getting it that way, but
not like your modern virtue signalers.
Well, and it's not, social activism isn't necessarily virtue signaling if you're accomplishing things. If you're virtue signaling, it is just that, signaling. You're making smoke screens so everybody knows how good you are. Whereas, and especially with his co-stars, part of the reason why he agreed to do the animated series was he's like, I want as many of the original cast back. And the only person who got sort of the short end of the stick on that, not through Leonard Nimoy's fault, but was Walter Koenig, but he definitely fought for George Takei and Nichelle Nichols to be a part of the cast. I think they originally only wanted to use Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and they would get sound alikes for everybody else. But it was Leonard Nimoy's sort of pioneering to be able to include everyone because of the multitude of sort of short sticks that the cast got based on syndication and merchandising that was withheld from the people who were on screen to make Star Trek such a phenomenon.
True. The residuals on the original show were for crap.
And he basically said he wasn't going to do it. There would be no animated series if they hadn't agreed to include everybody, except for, of course, they couldn't get Koenig.
That's the ultimate lever. When you withhold, if you don't include other people, that's power. And, God bless him for doing that. I also heard that he refused to do the movie until he got some merchandising money back from Paramount. And good on him for that, too. That's power.
Yeah, basically for 5 years, they were using his likeness on all these products and everything, and he thought it was kind of cute. And then one day he showed up somewhere, I forget where, and I think it was in Germany. It was in Germany, and his face was all over these billboards for the beer Heineken, which
wow, oh my God,
there were these silly billboards where his ears were all droopy until he drank the beer, which made the ears erect.
Just as a corollary, do you know how much George Lucas?
But he was unaware of that when he saw these billboards. He was unaware there was a whole merchandising campaign.
Well, sure I think it was someone actually said to him, and it was like, you must be pulling in some, and I'm paraphrasing, some fat bank for those Heineken ads.
Because they saw the ads.
What Heineken
what ads? Oh, that's incredible. What a great story. And then, he took that to the bank. That's not easy to do with a studio.
Yeah, it was something he had to do, and I'm glad he figured that out.
It sets a great standard for other people too. when you assert your rights like that.
Well, I mean, Shatner at one point after the show was living in his car because the residual.
Oh, yeah. He was in a van down by the river, and that's
literally
not much of an exaggeration.
Because the residuals deal for the actors were just for crap.
No, that was
and the
because
divorce.
Divorce.
That too.
Together, those things together, yeah. So there's the ad.
Wow, incredible.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Highly illogical.
Well, and it goes back to what you were saying about his own struggles with being a lifelong smoker and having his problems with alcohol. I don't know how an alcoholic would feel about, I'm sure at the beginning, you're like, yay, I'm the face of beer. And then as you actually confront your demons, you're like, damn it, I'm the face of beer.
No, but I think Nimoy himself wouldn't have minded, but he was very protective of Spock as a character, and Spock does not drink.
I mean, Nimoy, I think, stopped drinking around whenever he had, he stopped drinking around the time of his second marriage, but then he picked up smoking.
Oh no, he smoked the entire time.
I'm pretty sure he did.
There's many a photo of Spock smoking.
Oh,
so
okay.
Well, his continuing smoking is why we don't still have him.
Yeah.
It's like Rod Serling.
I think I read somewhere that.
I'm so sorry, Max.
What?
I'm so sorry. StreamYard kicked you out because I wanted to move on to a different brand. So go ahead. Continue your thought.
No, I remember I shouldn't say unless I have a citation. I just remember reading somewhere that when he stopped drinking, he increased his smoking, and he said, all I did was make some farmer in North Carolina rich.
Yeah, well, and that checks out. Like I've heard that about a lot of recovering alcoholics, and the recovery never ends, really. Hence, whenever you meet someone who is recovering, there is no recovered. And so that is something, unfortunately, to offset. And I've heard that from many performers. But when you're out in public and you're saying like, you smoke a lot, and it's like, yeah, I'm a recovering alcoholic. It doesn't really come
just look at Shia LaBeouf.
I would prefer not to.
Okay. Well, I just said
we're talking Nimoy today. Nimoy all day.
Yeah.
No, I just don't care for Shia the beef.
No,
I don't know who that is either, so I'll be lost.
I was being facetious.
No, that's a very deep rabbit hole. Let's just stand on the edge and look in and then walk away.
And plus, there are plenty of rabbit holes to go down about Nimoy. But if Scotty has one more thing to add.
Well, I was just going to say, and one of the things that may fly under the radar is Leonard Nimoy's contribution to the Transformers franchise. Not only was he Galvatron in the 1986-85 movie, but he was also the voice of, a different Transformer in one of the Shia LaBeouf movies. So Shia LaBeouf and Leonard Nimoy did share the screen, if by voice only.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I didn't know that he was.
Let's don't make Shia the new Kevin Bacon. Only Kevin Bacon is Kevin Bacon.
This is true.
But that's okay. At least it was related to Nimoy. So well done, Scotty, bringing it together in terms of that. I do know that he is the one of the Decepticons, right? He was one of the bad guys. So that's fun. During the character
assassination of Optimus Prime in the third Transformers movie, Leonard Nimoy gets to beg for his life while Optimus Prime mercilessly beats him to death.
And that sounds like it might be worth watching just for that scene.
Just for that scene? Yeah.
Well, Leonard, I love listening to him act. I really do.
He directed.
Amazing.
He directed 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's a huge part of my childhood. I loved 3 Men and a Baby before I loved Star Trek, and I rewatched that movie. I had it on video cassette, and I would watch a bunch.
Yeah, that movie in and of itself is a retool of an old film that was remade 2 or 3 times before that one, called Three Godfathers, which was originally a Western.
Well,
And
I know it as an old French movie called Three Men in a Cradle. And the whole drama with that is that it was written for the French audience, and then these authors were told to just rewrite it verbatim. And Nimoy, when he got this movie, he said, "This is not going to work. The audience will not be able to relate to these French, all of this French culture, and so we're going to need some new writers." But the writer says, "No, that's what we were told to do. We could do this," and they did. And so they retooled it and made an amazing movie. But what is that?
They got Magnum PI and Sam from Cheers. They did it.
And Carrie Mahoney from Police Academy.
Yep.
Did you guys ever? And I know it wasn't directed by Leonard Nimoy, but did you ever see Three Men and a Little Lady?
No.
There was a sequel.
I know, but I didn't see it.
Okay. But Leonard Nimoy was responsible for the two highest grossing movies in 1986, and it was Star Trek 4 and Three Men and a Baby.
Yeah, Star Trek 4 is beautiful.
Oh.
And if you're to believe his autobiography, it is because of Spock that he came up with that movie, because he of course knows the character so well and where Spock was going and where he would end up. And so that's why it's such a perfect trilogy, because of 2, 3, and 4 are so amazing. Even the first one, I think they're all great. He doesn't like the first one so much, but I understand. And
it's really interesting to hear him talk about the first one. And it's like Television Legends, or there's a YouTube channel where he talks about his experiences with Star Trek, and he's asked about what happened with that, and he just says that it didn't have the same sort of emotional connection between the characters. But I think that final scene between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy on the bridge of the Enterprise, I think we just gave birth to a new life form. It's been a while since I've delivered a baby. I like that interaction, and it's like it is the band is back together. You're waiting the entire movie. It's kind of like watching Casino Royale, and you don't get the name is Bond, James Bond, until the last line.
Yeah,
and it's like, it is a James Bond movie. And same with
speaking of
Star Trek,
the last line. The last line, he had come up with a really great line that they decided not to use for the motion picture, which I think it was a mistake, because it was a great line. It kind of says, "We're back. We're going to be ourselves again," basically. But he said, what did he say? What was that line? It was, "I need to be on this ship because McCoy is here." But he says it in a Spock way, much better.
Someone has to keep an eye on Dr. McCoy.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
And
and one other thing I forgot to add is that he's Jewish. He made a number of productions about that discuss Jewish life, and he also what was it? He also had a television movie where he played this guy who what was his name?
Was it the husband of Golda Meir?
Yeah,
No,
they gave him the Emmy for that.
Okay. What was his name? Mel Mermelstein, where he sued a guy who was an anti-Semite, and he was basically he got it on the record as a judicial fact that the Holocaust happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he could also speak Yiddish, and he was in a stage production of Fiddler on the Roof, so he definitely did. He definitely did go into his culture.
Oh, and the Vulcan salute is a Jewish sign.
Yes.
Right on.
When he tells stories about it, apparently when the rabbis are making this and putting a blessing on the congregation, one is not to look at this.
Yeah.
It's a secret. But he peeked when he was a boy, so he always had this, and then
because he knew it was important. He had a feeling that this was important, and yes, and
what
he
you're
did it in a beautiful way.
If you're of bar mitzvah age, you wear a prayer shawl. So what you're supposed to do is take the prayer shawl and cover your head, and yeah, when the priests are, they're called Kohanim, the Kohanes, when they're giving their priestly blessing.
Yes.
But yeah, he peaked.
Yeah, and he had a great respect for that side of him for sure. He was very serious about it, and everything. And so, but also speaking of direction, before we get off of the idea of him directing, of course, I love Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, and 3 Men and a Baby. But then there was this other movie that failed that he did, and the end of his directing career was with Good Mother, and The Good Mother. That was apparently not a good movie. It was very, very strange, not culturally accepted, and you know what? I can see why. It's kind of strange sexually, and so that's
Liam
his directing career.
Yeah, wow. A sexually liberated Irish sculptor who changes their perspective on life. Wow. I could see that going left quite easily. But wow, Diane Keaton, Liam Neeson, Jason Robards, Ralph Bellamy. My word.
That's amazing.
That's a great cast.
Yeah, that's
sounds like it has
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon as extras. Sorry, check stripes.
Well, that's good. Will
I just oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk. I didn't want.
No, you got excited. You got excited.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's good. That's what this channel is about. Getting excited about stuff like that. And so
he had the ingredients, he just couldn't bake the cake.
Oh, this is great. This is great from Franco Walker. I got a strange CD. The songs alternate between Shatner and Nimoy. It's called Spaced Out, the very best of Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. And yeah. That was definitely something I wanted to talk about too, was his music. So of course Leonard Nimoy and Shatner had albums, and they collaborated on one. That's pretty fun. And yeah, I definitely need to listen to more of these. There are a few that I like. Obviously, everyone knows Bilbo Baggins.
King of the Wild Frontier.
But there's so many more things that he did. I also like the other one. Where is it? Let's see. Music. I got this organized here. Because he did all sorts of things. Oh yeah, he didn't sing in this one, but he acts in a Bruno Mars "The Lazy Song" video.
Oh yeah.
I only like it because he's there. It's just so funny.
It's so great because he is having a lazy day, and he's flipping through the channels, and it's all just William Shatner, Priceline, and Rescue 911, and it is funny. But he played the chauffeur in a Bangles video. Where driving around the Bangles.
Do you have that photo?
I do not. I
have it. Can I share that, Jill?
Yes,
you
may. Absolutely.
Wait a second. Give me one moment. I just forgot I'm on my phone. So, egad, how am I going to do this?
Oh, and there's the picture you wanted.
There you go.
The black and white was crisper than the color.
Okay, I sent you a good one, Jill. But whatever. Anyway.
Oh, you sent me one. This is the one I see here.
On X.
Okay. I noticed that.
Anywho.
Let's see it. Well, it's loading. There you go. You see that? I don't know if you can see this or not. Oh wait, no. Here you go.
Yeah.
Da. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh wow, that Bangles video opens right on his face. So that's nice.
Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, definitely his music stuff is really great. Oh, There's a Funk Me Up Scotty PBC2 documentary. I gotta see what that is. I don't understand. That is.
He was in his photography, he did one of his projects was doing nudes of overweight women. So you could really attribute that to sort of a actually organic body positivity movement, body positivity. Yeah,
but
activism.
Actually positive and not
not again not
anybody else.
Stuffing it down your
right
whatnot.
It's just people being people without clothes, I guess.
Yes,
but
it was very artistic.
Yeah, one of my favorite his songs is "Where It's At." That's a good one. I don't know if anybody has favorite Leonard Nimoy songs besides Bilbo. But yeah, his photography was great. He built his first camera. He had some really classic cameras.
Ooh.
Our clocks go forward Sunday morning at 1 a.m. Okay, so you're gonna okay. I'm so sorry, Franco. That's what it was. The UK is still on the regular time zone.
God, that country is going to crap in every which way.
Yes, but
okay, now that makes sense, Franco. Okay, I was like, I haven't changed anything, but beer has the opposite effect on my
floppily doppily as well. Thanks for sharing, Gavin.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Like that's the real biology of the matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sloppily, doppily, Captain.
Oh yeah, I got that over here.
Woochie, woochie, coochie, coo, Captain.
And we have a ton of notes today. I don't know if I'll get through them. I know I didn't when we had the chatters.
I'm going to speak a little briefly here then.
Okay.
I think it's amazing that he did start out, when you look at his career and his dedication to the craft of acting, it was a slow start for him. And he worked a long time and lots of bit parts. He had that lead in I guess it was a boxing film that really just went nowhere for him. And he that's the Kid Monk. That was his breakout role, honestly. Well, he wanted it to be, but I think it flopped really hard. And that's really tough for an actor to rebound from. That's when you kind of realize, okay, I'm not going to be a lead. I'm going to be a supporting character, a secondary character. I heard that when he moved to LA, he went to the Pasadena Playhouse and very quickly felt that they don't really have anything to teach me. I've already paid my dues in that respect in terms of working on stage, and I don't need to be here.
That was a good thing he left that company because they went out of business very soon after.
And he kept after it, and all the roads really led to him being Spock, and the role he added so much to the role that wouldn't have been there otherwise. It was a real confluence of events that he became this character and the character became him, and they kind of just became intertwined. Just this week, I was listening to an interview with Sharon Stone, and she was talking with the interviewer about the nature of celebrity and how when you are well known, when people meet you, they're kind of all over themselves. What they're doing is they don't see you, they see the projection in their mind of what they believe that you are based on roles you've done and interviews and just your public persona. And I know with Leonard Nimoy, that was probably at the apex. That's at the top of that particular phenomenon. Because, of course, nobody could see him without thinking of Spock. And yet he had to kind of work through that and still be himself. And he spoke also of how the role saturated his own personality while he was playing the role, which
it's saturated personality. It saturated his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I mean very specifically, he said, I would play the role 5 days a week. I would go home, and over the weekend, I would still be Spock. And then maybe towards the end of Sunday, Leonard would sort of start to reappear, and then I would go right back to work on Monday.
Yeah, so that couldn't have been great for family life. And
I mean,
Yes.
so just again as a corollary of another sci-fi actor, Tom Baker, who's the Fourth Doctor, he kind of went the opposite way. He leaned into it. It's like, you know what? I'm not Tom Baker anymore. I'm the Doctor.
No,
I've got to say hello to James Caserta. He's here. He says, I grok Spock.
I grok Spock too.
Gee,
When the first time I ever, was it the only time I ever saw Roddenberry? He was speaking at my college, and somewhere along the way, I nagged a helium balloon and a magic marker, and drew like a little happy face, but with the slanted eyebrows and just a straight line for a mouth, and wrote "I grok Spock" on the other side of it, and I had that, during his speech and his Q&A.
when
So,
Saturday Night Live was funny.
I showed up for that. But I met Baker once, and he was very much the Doctor in that moment. And I also met Leonard Nimoy once, and again, my projection, of Spock, while still trying to relate to him as a person, however briefly, it was just impossible. It was like a wall. It was just, I was very young at the time, but still.
Interesting.
And
Separating the actor from their best performances.
Yeah, and I think he was sort of aware of that,
He was definitely, obviously, with the books he wrote. Anna Nielsen, have I missed your a cappella performance of the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins? We have not sung Bilbo Baggins, the greatest little hobbit of them all. Yeah, no, it's not yet. And what does it mean? What is the Vulcan salute?
Well, Max is the
actual
authority
Jewish?
here. I believe it's just a blessing.
It's
also a sign of protection, maybe as well.
Yeah, well, when the
mystical.
when the Kohanim, the priests, would make the blessing, they would wave their hands in the air in a circular manner, and they would say, "You know what? I have it. I always had it." It's like I always had it on a little card here on my desk, and now I can't find it. But they would.
Z3PO says that. Is this right? Not Z3PO says it basically means shalom.
Anyway, they would say there's something called the priestly. There's two types of priestly blessings. There's one that's said on just every day during certain prayers, and then there's one that's said during high holidays and special events, and they're very similar, but it's simply blessing the congregation, the people in the congregation, and is it? Oh, here it is. So the priestly blessing is not in English. It's in Hebrew. The English has faded away. So, but anyway, the Vulcan hand symbol is the priests would part their fingers while they were waving their hands in a circular motion.
They use both hands. I do know that.
Yes. Yes, both hands.
Hey, hello to Lord Thoth. Great to see you. And I miss Leonard.
It's in Hebrew and Spanish, but not English. The English has faded away.
Hello, Pen of Bishop. Yes, Mission Impossible, definitely. Yes, he enjoyed that role for a little while until it got boring and he got out of his contract. He wasn't too excited. He was excited about it, but then he realized he kept doing the same role over and over, and the characters were not deep.
Was he on an episode of T.J. Hooker?
Yes.
Okay.
He was on an episode of T.J. Hooker with William Shatner.
And
Definitely.
The boring one, was that Mission Impossible?
Yeah. Well, I mean, boring for him as an actor.
Yeah, no.
Because it.
Yeah, I just read like yesterday that he was considered for the original cast, and I don't know if they made him an offer I thought that was interesting, but then he went to Star Trek instead.
You're wrong. 6125 says it's not September the 8th. It doesn't have to be September the 8th. This year, you're wrong because I am celebrating the 60th anniversary all year long, every month, all the way up until September the 8th.
Every day is September the 8th.
So if you check out my channel, you're wrong.
Well,
that's his
also,
name. I'm not telling him he's wrong.
If you're in Canada, it's September the 7th. So
that's just a really tough. That's a tough name to have. I'm just going to point it out.
No,
so
I'm just basically
to give you credit for that.
Oh, and anyway, it's somebody. It's the possessive of a wrong because there's no apostrophe ERE. You know.
Yeah, it's like my bad. You're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at him. I'm just laughing at the delicious absurdity.
I dig it.
Anyway, I might have gotten a bit excited there, but yes, the concept of this live stream is that we're celebrating Star Trek every month of the year for the 60th anniversary. And so that is something that you would know if you read the description of the live stream, but I don't mind explaining it to you.
I was voted to lead, not to read.
That's true, but I also said it at the top of the show too. Without Nimoy, there would be no Spock. Yeah, and without Spock, you really don't have Star Trek either. And that's why Gene Roddenberry fought to keep Spock, even though he really wanted number 1 too. He had to pick keep the Vulcan, marry the woman.
Well, and I was kind of ruminating on Star Trek as a whole, and thinking about how in the Next Generation early on they were like, let's just stay away from Vulcans, like let's not do Vulcans, because there had been such a delightful long shadow cast by Leonard Nimoy in his portrayal of Vulcans, and obviously Mark Leonard as well. But they wanted to stay away from that and have the obvious comparison to Leonard Nimoy's gravitas and whatnot. And after that, you start to get more Vulcans in. Like, obviously, you get Tuvok and you get T'Pol. But there is always that comparison of the Vulcan performance
and Mark Leonard and Leonard.
Yeah. But that's one of the advantages that both Kirstie Alley and Robin Curtis had, is that at least they had, you know, the prototypical Vulcan on set with them as they portrayed a Vulcan. And if you want to say half Romulan, half Vulcan, you can. It's in there. It's out there. But I just think that is one of those things. And even moving forward with that, although I don't think he necessarily succeeded, although Leonard Nimoy did think he did, is that even Zachary Quinto had the tutelage of Leonard Nimoy, and so that was a passing of the baton, if you will.
And I also want to talk about, well, we're going to celebrate Leonard McCoy. We're going to celebrate DeForest Kelley next month, at the end of the next month. But Nimoy mentions him as a valuable addition. Obviously, they're basically a golden trio, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. And he says that McCoy brought a special chemistry and defined the character of Kirk and Spock. And so the way he describes him is basically kind of like the Kirk and Spock relationship is like the Lone Ranger and Tonto, is what he says. But Spock and McCoy was definitely Martin and Lewis, Gleason and Carney, or my favorite comedy team of all time, Abbott and Costello. And so I'm going to play a clip of the book. Hopefully it's okay to share this. And it just, there's so much.
What are they going to do? Demonetize you? Come on.
Demonetize you more?
Or as Tom Paris says, are they going to take away my holodeck privileges? Okay, so let's go.
LFG.
This is the Who's On First, but with
you read my mind. That's what it would do.
Now, wait a minute, Spock. When the first baseman gets his paycheck, who gets the money? Spock. It is only logical that he should do so, since he provided his services. McCoy. Who did? Spock. Precisely, Doctor. Who did? Who receives the money? McCoy. Are you trying to confuse me, you green-blooded son of a... Spock. Control yourself, Doctor. McCoy says, Now, wait a minute, Spock. When the first baseman gets...
Interesting.
That's
Interesting.
great.
I mean, just as I don't know. I would have. Yeah, that's wow.
We're still trying to reel it in a little bit in case we're playing with fire.
I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see him, and because I remember seeing right after Star Trek VI, Nimoy and Shatner went on tour, and I saw them when they came to Chicago. So I could see Nimoy and Shatner doing this. But
I don't, you know what? And I love Bill, but I don't think that Bill would have had the discipline to do Who's on First. Although he did do Shakespeare, and it's not that much farther away.
No, he could. I think he could. I think his emoting could put him over the top. I mean, of course, it would be more graceful with DeForest Kelley. But
no, it's interesting. Well, and not to, I'm sure we're going to be bouncing around a lot, but I and if I missed it, I apologize. But I would like to give Leonard Nimoy the credit for giving me the heebie-jeebies in reruns of In Search of, and I just rediscovered In Search of because I found a YouTube channel talking about DB Cooper, and one of the things that they do is they sort of give commentary on the In Search of for DB Cooper. And it's like, oh, I forgot. Spock talked about Sam Squatch and aliens and Area 51. This is great. So I got to go back and see some more In Search of.
Wow.
You guys,
Wow.
did you ever hear of In Search of?
No, not until just now.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Okay. Worth the ticket price, eh?
It is. It is. It's kind of like Unsolved Mysteries, but in the 70s.
Yeah. Wow.
And more paranormal.
Okay. Wow. What? So was it made in the 70s?
Yeah. They do like Loch Ness Monster and Dracula.
So they did an original series and they did like 2 revivals
of In Search of. Well,
well, that's what it says.
Okay,
but the 2 revivals were like 8 episodes and 18. So
I only and if they are revivals with Leonard Nimoy, then I remember them, but I don't remember anybody else hosting In Search of. But you know how you get those video compilations on YouTube where it's like 30 seconds of Jonathan Frakes telling you that you're wrong, or 30 seconds of saying that you're right, or asking you random questions. It's funny that both first officers from the original series and the Next Generation, they both had sort of an In Search of Unsolved Mysteries sort of show unto themselves.
Did you ever see, I mean, not to divert from Leonard Nimoy, but did you ever see Frakes do like the ancient history ones where he dresses up?
Oh no.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Just saying. Anyway.
All right.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, those are cool if you're looking.
Never watched In Search of.
Well, I would recommend it just because I think that there are a lot of them on YouTube and you'll be able to find a subject, but it's Leonard Nimoy narrating. And so with the timbre of his voice, it is authoritative and sometimes spooky. It's great.
Gotta love the public domain. Yes.
I do.
Why isn't it here? Oh, well, I can't find it in his IMDb. Why would they not include it here?
You know, if
it would be as himself, not as an actor.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Matt, Max, are you attempting to drop the sound on your mic?
What?
Just the volume. Someone in the chat said that your mic's a little hot.
Oh, okay. I can try.
Well, yeah, no, I've tried addressing that a lot of times, and that's not possible. It's just not possible. So that's
why I just wanted to draw attention.
Okay, is this better or?
For the sake of argument, let's just say yes.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't want to address it, because we don't need to do that's something for behind the scenes to fix if we wanted to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although there were so his parents were not that supportive of him going off to go act. So there is. I did want to mention that he did have to sell some vacuum cleaners to get out to California, and he did that. So he definitely was not afraid of hard work in that particular vein. He did it. And
of any of his more prominent roles outside of Star Trek.
well, before we go outside of Star
Oh,
Trek,
sure.
with Star Trek, because how he got on was the way a lot of Star Trek actors get on was through the Lieutenant, which he was in an episode called "In the Highest Tradition," and where he played a flamboyant actor. So it was very different from his Kid Monk role, which was more reserved. And he worked with Gary Lockwood, obviously, yes, from the pilot, Gary Mitchell, in that Where No Man Has Gone Before. And it was directed by Mark Daniels, another recurring director for Star Trek also. So that's awesome. And so glad they gave him a chance, because that's why we have him as Spock. But again, I still haven't seen an episode of The Lieutenant. That's something I've got to change this year.
If I remember correctly, I think they're available on YouTube as well.
Wow, all the stuff is available on YouTube.
It was 29 episodes, so.
But basically, after that performance, he was liked so much by Gene Roddenberry that he was pretty much given the role. All he had to do was just take it, because they gave him a set tour and they said, "This is what we want Spock to be," as much as Gene Roddenberry has conceived of Spock, and so he thought to himself, "Don't blow it, Leonard. Keep your mouth shut, or you just might talk yourself out of a job." So all he had to do is not do that, and he did.
Well, and that's also just in terms of the many contributions that Leonard Nimoy gave to Spock, aside from the, of course, the Vulcan salute, but the Vulcan nerve pinch was
and
Leonard Nimoy.
And I do believe it was Nimoy, because he wanted to. He said, "Isn't there something we can do that besides, because Spock would not be overtly violent like that? So how can we?"
Yeah, he was specifically objecting to a scene where Spock was supposed to pistol whip someone.
Oh, ouch!
And he wanted to find another way.
Right, and that he conceived of Vulcans as being touch telepaths, and so that's how Gene Roddenberry came up with the mind meld, and so it was just a combination of working together, all of these creators. And yes, I just love that Nimoy he has such influence. He's not afraid to speak up for his character. If Spock wouldn't do that, he'd say that, and that's why it was so difficult for him in the third season, because he was starting to see his character and everybody else's character start to degrade, which it hurt him a bunch.
There's also stories that Shatner was a bit piggy, and that he would go through the script and cherry pick lines for himself. And at some point, Nimoy went to the producers and said, "Am I the science officer? Is Spock the science officer?" And they're like, "Well, of course you are." And he's like, "Then let me be the science officer." And pushed back and started taking lines back.
Wow.
Well, that's good.
Well, that's also something that's common in the era, I guess.
I think just in terms of, there's so much competition when it comes to acting and actors. When you're on stage, stealing scenes, presence. It's a thing. It's a thing that actors do.
And I think that there was a spark to that was when the fan mail started coming in for Leonard. And Bill was like, "Wait a second, I thought I was the star of the show." And so that really sparked off a lot of the competition that was occurring between the cast members. But that's just my speculation.
That's not a speculation. That's true.
Yeah, I also think that's largely Bill's nature.
Yeah,
he's a scene stealer.
And Tim
the
says
man could emote.
And hello to Low Specs Linux Gaming here. Great to see you.
Hey, Linux.
Uh-oh. He
Oh,
says,
see, I don't know the song.
in the
I
middle
can't
of the
believe
earth.
you don't don't know the song. That's amazing.
Boy,
Oh,
It's
come on.
very
You know me and
bouncy.
Lord. You know me and Lord of the Rings. I
In the
wouldn't
middle
This
of
care.
is
the
Nimoy.
in
Yeah.
land of the Shire lives a brave little hobbit whom we all admire. With his long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolly toes, he lives in a hobbit hole, and everybody knows.
Bilbo
Bilbo
Baggins,
Baggins.
king of the wild frontier.
I think I mostly heard the song initially on Dr. Demento, so I didn't hear it in its day. But Dr. Demento would play it a lot.
Good callback.
Nim 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 says he wonders how Shatner coped with his movie being so poor compared to the ones that Nimoy directed. Yeah, Star Trek 3 and Star Trek 4 are better than Star Trek 5, although there's
But
some
you know
good things
what?
in 5.
Star Trek 5 does age well compared to the new Trek. I mean, just
Oh,
if
for
nothing
sure,
else,
but
for the line,
that's
what does God need a starship for?
Well, and
why did
also,
what does God need with the starship? But
but also,
it's
like,
really
and
low.
I,
That's a really low bar, though.
well, here's my defense of that, because absolutely, there's no argument there. I love Star Trek 5, but of course, with the beginning of the trilogy with 2, the bridge and success of 3, and then the whimsical sort of denouement of 4, once you start going back to standalone movies, then Star Trek 5, I think, picks up where the original series left off. And I've said this 1,000 times. I think that Star Trek 5 is the most original series of all of the original movies. And I think that
4
Bill
is
did a
too.
great job in terms of bringing it back to, it was back to what people loved about the original series, something that the motion picture never really achieved. Now, this is just my critique. You can follow me on Letterboxd.
I think Star Trek 4 was like a episode also. I think
That's ScottyCriterion.com.
Both
Yeah.
the movies, and that makes sense. Both of the movies created by characters from the show made Star Trek movies most like the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and again, it's kind of like saying, let's go to our favorite buffet, and then having one part of the buffet that nobody likes, and it's like, oh, I like that part. I like the macaroni salad. I would.
Gotta
and
be
I've
right
told
back,
this
guys.
story-
It's a call from my kid's school.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
But I've told this story, so I'll be brief. But like, yeah, I went to Fan Expo, and Bill and Leonard were going to be doing a thing, and me and a friend of mine, both Star Trek fans, wanted to go see them, but we couldn't afford it, so we basically just danced around their staging area as they walked to the convention hall where they were going to speak. And so I've been in the presence of Bill and Leonard at the same time, but I've never interacted, sadly.
Oh,
Jamie Lynn in the chat says, "Hi, Tiger."
Oh, Jamie Lynn. Yeah, my scenario was that I saw him perform at a college at a play here in Austin. When I was in college, I was a member of a college science fiction club. We, kind of made that ourselves together and had to get the blessing of a professor. And there was a professor at the UT at the time who did write science fiction, and he kind of looked at us with amusement. The name of our club was Nemo. So we went to see, of course, because it was Leonard Nimoy, perform at a different college in this play. He was playing Caligula. I'm not clear on which play it was. I remember his performance was very big. In retrospect, not at the time, I think it's possible that he was really trying to drag those college actors up to his level, trying to encourage them maybe to play bigger, because I remember that comparatively their performances were so small. I just remember him, and it wasn't just because of his celebrity. There was nobody that could kind of come up to that level, of size, and it was a very big performance, of course, because it's a massive character. And then afterward, we went backstage, and he was at the makeup table, and I gave him a candle, I think, and maybe something I'd written, but I was just sort of, in awe, and he was very he was pleasant, but he was also a little checked out. I think coming down from the performance, because that is something that happens after you perform. So that was my experience with meeting him.
Wow.
And that is kind of, I don't know. I wonder what the hero worship is like for a guy like Leonard Nimoy, like being so iconic.
Again, it's not even hero worship. It's this other thing, this other phenomenon that I was talking about. Well, I think you were out of the room.
Perhaps.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just curious because it's I think that there are, as witnessed by what we saw at the very beginning of the stream, where the interviewer is asking one of those rote questions where it's like, what do you think the lasting impact of Star Trek was during that original series? And then Leonard Nimoy is clearly just trying to make his own fun by talking to Bill. And it's
because that's why they're there. They're there to entertain. It's the Bill and Lenny show.
Exactly.
Can you imagine if Chevy Chase was there?
Well, but it's one of those things where it's like, I've heard comedians say, or writers be asked, and it's like, so where do you come up with your ideas? And that is flat out one of the most boring questions. And so I'm curious if that sort of playing a character of such iconography, or a character of such an iconic nature, would be sort of daunting in any interaction where it's like, okay, I don't know you. I'm obviously in a performance setting. What are you going to ask me about if you say Spock? I swear to God, I'm gonna just leaving.
Sir, there's a multi-legged creature crawling on your shoulder.
Jill's back. Back again.
There was one of the funny stories they told during their first tour, when I went to go see them, was Shatner and Nimoy were on a parade float for the Parade of Roses for the first year of the show after the premiere, and the announcer had the card for their names. It's like, oh, and here are the two stars of the new science fiction show Star Trek, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy.
Oh no,
Nimoy. For real, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Let me alone.
Oh, you saw that too from Nim.
Oh no, I didn't see that from Nim. What happened?
Well, and this is a differential that I would like to, because again, I'm the relative Tommy knocker. Mikey Spock taught proper Spock everything he knew, right? And that's what
New Trek says. Yeah.
That's what New Trek says, and that's where I have to draw the line.
Well, and also there's no question mark there, so I believe that what NNM is saying is right.
Right.
It's one of the it's a long right.
It's
implicit sarcasm.
It's a Lorne Michaels. Mikey Spock taught proper Spock everything he knew. Right.
That's why it's just so much easier for me to, while I tolerate its existence as a separate entity, New Trek has nothing to do with the original Star Trek 735 iterations. So
that's true.
Well, I cannot wish them out of existence. I do not intend them any specific harm.
Yeah, that's what IDIC is all about.
Well, IDIC is about making money at conventions, or making money.
Yeah, but that too. It's
what is IDIC?
Infinite diversity.
Okay, one at a time.
Sorry, Scotty, go ahead.
No, I was going to wait for Jill. Jill should do it.
Infinite diversity in infinite combinations. Basically, our differences make us greater. We are more than the sum of our parts, and we can achieve more together. All that kind of stuff.
True diversity.
Right, true diversity of thought and ideas.
Yes. And from what I understand, actually, you would know more based on the I Am Spock book. I think they say it in one of the books where Leonard Nimoy sort of somewhat objected to IDIC at the time.
He did. Because he knew it was just basically to sell stuff. But he eventually agreed to it because it I guess it at least fit with the character.
Well, and
so
it
maybe-
also it is a great representation of the Star Trek ethos. It has grown to be more than
Right.
just sort of blatant
Some
marketing.
of its parts.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it didn't fit with Spock, he would have. I'm sure he would have refused. But yes, it was. He didn't think much of it though. Yeah. I took care of business, so everything's fine with that.
Everything's
Hello to
okay?
Istaphobos. Yeah, everything's okay on
Okay,
the
excellent.
parental side
Good to hear.
of things.
There was
He
a
just-
terrible
he-
roller coaster accident today.
No,
Scotty.
there was not. He forgot an assignment
It's
in Grandma's
it's none
car.
it's none of our business really.
Yes,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Well,
That's
I
also
just
very
I just-
true.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I'm curious, but yeah, you
It
don't
was-
have to
he just
scratch that
forgot.
itch.
He just forgot something in Grandma's car that he needs for school, and Grandma's going to
Well,
take
and
it.
also,
Oh, that's
why are we
nice.
thinking it's the bad thing? He hit a home run, won the big
Hey,
game.
you were the person who went there.
He's
I
in
know.
swimming.
I'm trying to flip it. Oh well.
Well, flip it on
imagine
yourself,
doing
buddy.
that
Don't-
underwater.
don't say
Jill. That's
we.
incredible.
What do you mean we, white man?
What do you mean we, Scotty? You're in this yourself.
All right, time for a smoke break. See you in a flash.
Okay.
The commissary story, I guess maybe they either added it later or just didn't add it the night I watched it, but they had a story about how they went down to the commissary truck and they had an egg and onion sandwich and watched the sunrise. But I'm glad I heard that. So,
Yeah, because
aside
that
from-
sounds like a really sweet story. So there's two sides of it.
Yeah.
They can be sweet to each other, and they can be terrible.
And
This
any
is a great-
actor who's eating onions, that's not done without thought. That's an act of provocation just in and of itself.
We're looking at you, Diana Rigg.
Anyway,
Little
I have a
James Bond
bunch
lore
of
there.
errands. I have a bunch of errands to run this morning, so I must be off.
Live
Cheers,
long and
sir.
prosper.
Live long. Your service honors us. Live long and prosper. Wait,
Peace
no,
and
sorry.
long life.
Sorry. Peace and long life.
There it is. It was great.
I shall do
great-
neither. I killed my captain.
Do we have Jim? We have Jim.
We have Jim. We do. It's just a matter of finding it because I've got so many clips. Let's see where
Of course,
the matter.
there
of
was
finding where it is.
after he died. He was captain. No, Spock.
Sorry. I have to find it. Let's see.
Matt G.
Here it is.
Tow.
Don't you think you better check with me first?
Captain. Jim!
All right.
Oh, I love
Jim!
that. Just love it.
I love it too. And just for this live stream, I brought in the clip that plays afterwards where he explains himself.
There's just one thing, Mr. Spock. You can't tell me that when you first saw Jim alive that you weren't on the verge of giving us an emotional scene that would have brought the house down.
Merely my quite logical relief that Starfleet had not lost the highly proficient captain.
Yes, Mr. Spock, I understand.
Thank you, Captain.
Of course, Mr. Spock. Your reaction was quite logical.
Thank you, Doctor.
In a pig's eye.
Come on, Spock. Let's go mind the store.
And the musical cue.
Well, and I
Gorgeous
do
music.
love how that sort of harkens back into Star Trek VI, where at the very end it's like, have you and I grown so old that we have outlived our usefulness? Would that constitute a joke? Don't beat yourself up. Come on, I need
If I were human, I would say, go to hell. If I were human. All right. See y'all later.
That's
Cheers,
a great
bud.
one. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Max. See you around. Man, Star Trek used to be so good, says Lord Thoth. Yes, absolutely. And this one's for Max.
If I were human, I believe my response would be go to hell.
If I were human. I forget when I get a copyright claim on that one, so I cut it off early.
Well, and it is something that I would
Hi,
like to
Max.
sort of, in terms of the credit to the character of Spock, or at least the integrity of Spock. I think that the collaboration between Nicholas Meyer and Leonard Nimoy was very. It expanded the way people perceive Spock, especially, and because
He
I
doesn't
know
even
in
call
Star
him Nicholas. He calls him Nick. They're
Nick
friends.
Meyer.
I
There
think
you go.
Meyer was a writer first, wasn't he? Before he became a
Yes.
director. So yeah, so
He's-
he really had the chops down in terms of writing.
Well, and this is something that I do want to point out. I think this was said live on stream over at Overlord DVD, but apparently Jill has been referred to as a Star Trek expert by one of her friends, which is always flattering and lovely. And so I want to shout that out. But it
And
is
true.
and true, no doubt. And so that's one of those things when two people jive about the character or the story that they're telling. In regards to Nick and Lenny, like that's I don't know, synchronicity.
Well, Meyer also made his chops up when he wrote a book called The 7% Solution, which was a Sherlock Holmes novel. And there's a lot of analogies everywhere to Spock and Holmes and how similar they are as characters.
Especially in Star Trek 6, yeah.
So I think that was already established. People understood that in a literary context. So for Nicholas Meyer to bring that and then work with Leonard Nimoy, that's some real synchronicity again there.
Mm-hmm.
And they worked on Star Trek. They worked on the Undiscovered Country together too, and of course everything. But
well, and Nick Meyer was a co-writer on Star Trek 4.
Yeah,
He's a wonderful
definitely.
writer. Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful writer.
Yeah, and I'm glad
think-
that
yeah.
it was even good that he decided, oh, I don't want to direct these next movies because that opened the door for Nimoy to do it. Because he kind of didn't like the idea of bringing Spock back. But I'm glad he came back later. Nicholas Meyer, but he did
Okay.
come back anyway for Star Trek 6.
Well, and he did come back for Star Trek 4.
Mhm.
Not in a directorial capacity, but as a writer. But again,
Yeah.
it is sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, so it's just like even if he didn't like something, he still worked.
Do you consider the original motion picture sextet to be part of the original series, or do you feel that there's enough time that is sort of passed that it is an era unto itself?
The motion picture is a part of the canon, so I'm not sure exactly what the question is here. It's
Well,
part
no,
of the story.
It is absolutely in terms of the larger Star Trek universe. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that if you look at it from blocks of entertainment, if you and I have agreed upon the idea of the 735, and so that is a specific era of Star Trek. However, if you wanted to look at it closer, you could break it down to the original series and then the motion pictures. I'm not including the animated series because it has sort of had a renaissance recently, but it hasn't necessarily been the most prevalent throughout the history.
Yeah, I take the animated series fairly seriously. I know there's some things in it that are not the greatest, but
Leave them alone.
I guess they yeah. I guess maybe they are. I don't know. I think it's just an expansion of the story. We got our 79 episodes and then the movies, and I think they're all part of the story. And it makes sense that a lot of it centers around the character of Spock because he's the one who's in the conflict, and it gets pretty well wrapped up with these movies, and I love that that's the case. Where and the animated series is so important to me because of yesteryear, and if not all of the episodes, because that's the episode where Spock at 70 years old says, "Yeah, I'm half human," and my dad he gets this great choice: are you going to live as a human or as a Vulcan? And that's when he makes that choice that he's going to live as Vulcan and control his emotions, and that's what he continues to do from that point forward. And in putting down his pet, which is a very difficult thing to do, he realizes that is the best thing for Aichaya. And it's heartbreaking, but and you learn Vulcan philosophy on death, that you only mourn a life if it wasn't if it was wasted, and Aichaya's was not wasted.
No.
Oh.
Hmm.
And
Anyway, it's just it was merely a hypothetical.
I know, I don't understand the hypothetical. It's all Star Trek to me, so I'm confused still. Like, because the movies are a continuation of Spock's story. I think they're just as important. I do believe the episodes are, like, Star Trek is best on TV. But I don't think the movies are separate from them.
I know that you really don't like the reboot movies, but I did like the fact that they kind of went in different directions for both Kirk and Spock and showed you little slices of their childhood. And I really love that thing where Spock's hanging with some other Vulcan boys who slam his mother, and he just tears into one of them, and the other two sort of watch on horrified.
That scene is essentially in the animated series episode. You've seen Yesteryear, right?
I have, but it's been ages, so I'm gonna have to go revisit that. I have to find a place to watch it. Yeah.
And goodness. I think the movies are their own thing. Okay, thank you, Franco Walker. Okay, so there's a opinion for your conjecture. Do you think they're separate, Scott? So we didn't get your answer on that.
No, I do think that they are. I do think that they're all canonical, but like, I've had conversations with Star Trek fans who are like, no, the movies are different. They're more militaristic. There isn't that much bravado, or it is reliant on more character than the exploration of ideas. So I have spoken to people who think that the movies are more blockbustery, even though they were modest budgets, but they do separate them as being more directed towards a mass audience, as opposed to the fans who watered that particular seed to growth. I
can see that. Series. I can understand that. Yeah, the movies do have to be crafted differently from the TV show, which is why, yes, with the ideas and the philosophy, that's easier to portray on the television. And for movies, you've got to have something big. Wrath of Khan is a great movie, but it does separate from that. Even though it was based on Space Seed, it is quite different in style and tone and more action oriented.
Well, and also with all my bluster about saying Star Trek V is the most like an episode of Star Trek, if you wanted to sort of say that the Star Trek like the classic cast movies are their own thing, Star Trek II, Star Trek III, and Star Trek IV, we call them a trilogy. Or if you wanted to be a little bit more pragmatic about it, you can call it episodic. Those are three consecutive episodes.
And I say that, and I do say that. Yeah, I can agree with the idea that we've gotten some more action in the movie, but there is still that Star Trek seed of ideas with the Genesis device that still brings the science fiction into it. That still brings the morality of whether or not it is our right to be creating life in this way, to take a world and remake it, and what the implications are to do such things. And they do mention that in the movie, so I don't think the movies contradict the series at all.
No,
at least the first 6.
Right. That's only ones that I refer to. Because I think there is a difference between the Berman era and the original, and whether that be Roddenberry and Harv Bennett, or Roddenberry, Nick Meyer, whatever, however you want to sort of encapsulate that era. I would say original cast. original cast era, I think, is one thing unto itself. And it's like the Old Testament and then the New Testament, which is the Berman era. And then, I don't know, the Silmarillion is everything else.
For me, it's the original series movies 1 through 6, TNG movies 9 through 10, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. Yes, those are all great.
Yeah. Well, and that's, yeah, exactly. And it's just a matter of finding where your niche lay. It's a good time.
And Tim says the Enterprise D bridge was different than the TNG bridge on the show. Oh, yeah, from the movie? Yeah.
Yes. Well, especially the D. Yeah. The
Yeah,
D
that
was
was
much more like
strange.
yesterday's Enterprise. It had platforms and it had things off to the side. Well, and it's a cinematic, it's a translation of television to cinema. And so they had to work a little bit harder to make the frame interesting.
Yeah. And of course, we've also got lots of episodes we could talk about. I've got so many clips. I don't know if I'm going to get through half of them.
Captain, I see no reason to stand here and be insulted.
Of course. That's from Devil in the Dark. That's one of my favorite. That is my favorite Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The Horta.
Yeah. Yeah, the Horta.
That's one I
And-
missed on its original showing. It's just, I missed it. I was doing something else that day. And then when they started to strip Star Trek in the afternoons after school, I was at a friend's house. I think I feel like there was more than one person there. And the Horta episode was showing, Devil in the Dark. And I think I began to cry. I was really surprisingly moved by it.
Absolutely.
And everybody was sort of shocked because I had never seen it. It was all new to me.
I have cried at that episode too. It is great. And it's a wonderful presentation of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy working together. Kirk realizing that he shouldn't kill the Horta, and Spock learning how to communicate with her, and McCoy, despite his objections, becoming a bricklayer to save her life. And that's what led to the cooperation between the miners and the Horta.
My
And
God,
so-
Jim. I'm starting to think I can cure a rainy day.
Yeah, that episode does everything for me. It's everything that I want Star Trek to be, and it's beautiful. But also, this one is good too. Sometimes I forget about the naked time.
I am in control of my emotions. Control of my emotions.
That scene and the legend behind that scene is absolutely astounding, because I think that was the last scene on a Friday night, and they did it, and then Leonard Nimoy was like, no, I want to do it one more time, and they were like, we're done, because again, production was so strict. It's like, we're done by 5. And he was like, no, I have one more, and I want to do it my way. And to the credit of the production, they did it. And so it is that take that was.
Okay, so according to the
Is
book,
that that's a paraphrase.
He did have to go to Gene Roddenberry to get it, but he eventually did get it. And because at first the director was like, no, we don't have time. And then he went to Gene Roddenberry and he got his wish to make it, because they were just going to make it a joke. They were just going to make fun of it. And there was plenty of humor in the episode already. It made sense that Spock would struggle with this. He would not lose it in front of everybody. He would hold it together long enough to go in private and deal with the storm of emotions that he can't control. Because of because of the infection, because of that infection. And that's the thing, is that's something that New Trek just never understands. When they know that fans like seeing Spock struggle with his Vulcan side and his human side, but they don't understand that there has to be an impetus for it. There has to be a reason. And of course, Snake Time, there was an infection, and in this side of paradise, there were mushrooms, there were spores all over the place. To make that make sense, amok time, it was a biological drive. So you can't just make Spock emotional randomly, but New Trek doesn't understand that. It is so frustrating. That's why I can't respect any of it.
I think there, and in terms of the character of Spock and not Leonard Nimoy, I think that there is a lot of backstory. There are a lot of interpretations of Spock that the stewards of the character, including Leonard Nimoy, they're not around to say, no, that's not it. That's not it. Everyone just says, oh yeah, no, you're fine. You're Spock. It's good. You can do whatever you want. And it's like, no, there is an actual mathematic for how Spock withholds his emotions and why he withholds his emotions. And so I do understand, like, people say that Strange New Worlds is interesting, and I haven't yet delved deeply into it. I'm curious about it, but then I see things like, oh, and this is a 3-episode arc where Spock decides that he's going to be more human and explore his human side. And I'm like, I guess that's interesting. I just don't, and I like Ethan Peck. I just don't think that he conveys the same level of gravitas. He's got the voice, but he doesn't have the confidence to be Spock. I don't know. I think,
it's a misunderstanding of the Vulcan physiology. Of course, they have very, very strong emotions, way stronger than humans, and that's why they got in trouble. That's why they had the world wars on their planet, and that's why they decided that it was a biological need for them to figure out how to control them. And
at their core, there's a lot of deep repressed passion.
Yes,
in Vulcans, that's what makes Spock so interesting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
DJ.
And yeah, it's great. Hey, hello to DJ Play Nice. Welcome to the panel. I had to put the link in the chat for you guys to find it because YouTube decided I am not supposed to have money. We can't hear you, DJ Play Nice, but we welcome you when you are able to fix your audio problems.
Which we will address shortly. But Jedi Master is here. Hey, Jedi Master.
Your illogical approach.
Oh, what was that supposed to be? Hold on.
Your illogical approach.
I wonder what? Why did I get that clip? Okay, that was like a half a clip. Anyway, let's cover it up with this.
I think Amok Time would have to be my favorite Spock episode. Might be my favorite Star Trek episode.
Yeah, it's a very important one. He didn't even want to tell his captain what was wrong with him, but he eventually had no choice because he was going to die if he didn't. And of course, Captain Kirk would do anything, and even risk going against orders to get Spock to Vulcan, and he did, which was great. Which I guess you could say is kind of a prelude to maybe something like Star Trek 3, where they go out to save Spock again. In that case,
see, that's interesting.
Spock, right?
That's interesting because I think that. Okay, so for Spock episodes, I have 3. Amok Time is in there. Immunity Syndrome is in there because we lose the all Vulcan ship and Spock responds, and then they have to rescue Spock from the giant space amoeba. And then, what was the third?
Right. I got. I got that clip somewhere of McCoy saying, "Damn it, shut up, Spock. We're going to rescue you, damn it," or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Maybe he doesn't say "damn it," but that's the feeling of it.
And then the what's the one where Captain Kirk Oh, the Tholian web. Tholian web, because Kirk is gone and they're going through the phase space, and it is basically Spock and McCoy the entire episode. It's amazing.
Right. Because
so those character dynamics are great. And then Amok Time, Spock's brain. I love Spock's brain.
And apparently there was a problem with the ears when they first tried to get him on. They were not good, and so that was always a thing. Also, his skin was supposed to be red, but that was going to look like blackface on black and white TVs. So they nixed that for yellowish, greenish.
Hey,
skin.
everybody! It's Alien Nat King Cole.
Yeah. So luckily they didn't go with that. We're all very fortunate.
Jedi Master. Piece of the action. I'd advise you to keep dialing, Nox Mix. Perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah, piece of the action's great.
What episodes were Spock not in the original series?
Episodes that were missing Spock. I didn't think to catalog that kind of
So
thing.
I think I have 79 favorite episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah. Well,
now
I think they're all. I think he's got to be in all of them, right?
I'm pretty sure, Jill.
Yeah, he's in all of them.
Alien Al Jolson. Thanks, Tim. Assignment Earth is good. Like, it's like, oh, what's your favorite Spock episode? It's like the one with Spock in it.
Also,
I do
what's your
know
favorite
that there are
airline
emotional
commercial with
favorites.
William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy?
Someone just asked me why I wasn't flying the plane.
And you said,
I'm not the captain.
anyway, we're on vacation.
Can't they tell we're on vacation? Well, why does that look familiar?
Because we've been there. I like it better here.
Frequent flyers like the future on Western Airlines.
It's the only way to fly.
Only? What a novel concept.
That's great.
Even when the episodes were not good, Spock still has some great lines.
I reach you.
Yeah.
Oh, Space Hippies. That's a great
the
episode.
Space Hippies episode. Oh, you like it? You like?
I do. I gotta say,
you like
we
this one,
kind of look
Aiden, for
forward
real?
to it. We actually they were showing it on Me TV on Saturday night, and we stopped and rewatched it, and it was interesting because the episodes, as they were shown on television for many, many years, were clipped to make space for commercials. But what they're showing now, I believe, are the complete episodes, and they actually had a hippie song in there that I think had been cut out for years that I didn't even remember. So I was happy for the opportunity to watch it all again, in its entirety.
And welcome to Jedi Master, or bye.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I had to.
And DJ.
I have to rotate through all of the brands, and I was hoping to do that while Tiger Stripes was talking, and so not have to disturb anything. But you know what? It's going to be disturbing anyway because I have to do it over and over and over again, and just because I've got 10 of these, and I want to be able to flip through all my videos because I've got a lot of great Spock clips that I want access to, and I don't want to interrupt somebody while they're talking. And so we've got to do this every single time somebody
That's
joins
cool.
the panel.
And while you're doing that, oh, excellent. The mute button just disappeared from DJ's icon. So great.
That's good.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so now maybe we can talk to DJ Play Nice and Jedi Master. Hello, and welcome to both of you to the panel.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
How you doing?
Doing pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fixed.
My
All
feet
right.
are still sore from MegaCon. I can
Oh,
still
that's
feel
right.
my
Okay.
feet.
That's great. I'm so glad you got to go to that. How
Yeah,
was
Jonathan
the
Frakes was
convention?
so nice.
Yeah.
Jonathan Frakes was so nice. I had a blast.
Good.
Me and Snacks and friends had a blast. He came over. He cooked on he took over my kitchen because he made steaks.
we had a nice big meal, me, him, and my wife, and then me and him got up early in the morning, and we went around with our characters and stuff, and we were getting subscribers to the channels, and we were just having a good old time. And I got my lightsaber. I got my photo op with Jonathan Frakes. What a nice guy. Everybody that saw Brent Spinner, and I told Scotty, he was such a jerk to people. Everybody was saying when they came out, he was so mean and
Oh, he
rude.
was? Oh,
Yes,
that's terrible news.
but Jonathan Frakes was so nice. He actually
Well,
let
that's
you
good
get
to
in a
hear.
few sentences.
I love Data so much. He's my just like
Oh, I
Spock's my
love the
favorite
character,
character.
but the
But,
person
yeah,
that
in
plays
TNG, Data is my favorite because basically there's a bit of a parallel there between the characters, and
Riker's
it
always been my
definitely
favorite.
works. Oh, I think that's Scotty's favorite too, but he's not here to corroborate that.
Oh.
And I'll double check with him when he returns. Oh, there's this cute story in here about the ears. That's why I wanted to read this. They did have some trouble, but Fred Phillips figured it out, and that's great. But then Fred had brought over. Okay, so he was accompanied by a client, a lovely Irish actress named Maura McGivney. I believe Miss McGivney was the first person off the street to see me in my Spock costume, and her reaction was one of immediate, obvious interest. Oh, she breathed, lifting a hand to to Spock's ears. May I touch them? They're so attractive. I blushed deeply, decidedly unvulcan shade of red, and obliged. It was the first inkling I had of Spock's effect on women. Oh, hold on. I gotta step away for a second. Can you guys talk for me for a minute?
He's got the Kavorka.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, that's the evolution too of the makeup and the character design for Spock, because in the pilot, the old pilot with Captain Pike, it's just not right yet, and you can see that they're not right. And then when they got a second shot at making another pilot, then I think they brought in a specialist to make those ears, somebody who was really skilled at prosthetics. The guy who was just the regular makeup guy knew that he couldn't do it. And somebody paid out of pocket to have that done too. The studio wouldn't pay for the extra person to do it. But the design really, they just got it perfect. Gentlemen?
What up, yo?
Yeah, well, we were at a surprising silent point. I'm not clear why. I'm waiting for DJ and Jedi Master to opine. But that's all right. We can... And Jill had to step away for a second.
Oh, well,
I was going to say that for the byline on my icon, I was going to put in live long and prosper, and I did just a rudimentary research and found out that in the mirror world, Vulcan salutes and greetings were so taboo that to mention them meant that you were summarily executed immediately on the spot. So I thought, well, I better rethink that. So I put in, I shall consider it. Just because of that, because to be consistent with the mirror world.
Delightful.
Yes. But I had never known that before about the mirror world. And
wait, are you
Vulcan
talking about
culture.
Mirror?
Yeah. In a way, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I gotta run, Jill. I got a phone call. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's always good to see you if it's just for 5 minutes or 5 hours. Just, you're welcome anytime.
We're going to be going April 7th. We're doing Keeper Part 1. We're going to break it into 2-week episodes because it's
okay. Okay. April 7th.
We'll start
Gotcha.
off with that. You got it. Take care now. God bless y'all. Take care.
Okay. See you later. Bye. Okay. That was quick.
I was talking about the evolution of Spock as a character, particularly from the early pilot with Captain Pike and then the second pilot. And Franco mentioned Spock was too emotional in the cage. And I would say that that's true, but then number one was supposed to be the emphasis for the unemotional character.
Yeah, that's right. And when they got rid of number one,
Yeah.
Spock basically absorbed that part of her character.
Right.
But
Which
yes,
really
in the first,
strengthened him as a character too. So
but it was
meant to
just
be.
it was just the reason why Spock was more emotional in the cage is because Jeffrey Hunter was such a reserved actor, and he played the captain so straight, and so of course Nimoy had to do stuff like this, which is great. But it's not Spock, and so he does talk about that in his book. That Spock took a while to be born. So Spock obviously was there from the beginning, but he says that he wasn't really born until the Corbomite maneuver, when Theodore Sturgeon had him say the word fascinating. And so it was something where everybody was supposed to be really worried about the sphere that was the big spaceship that was approaching and all of that. But he told him his direction was, you're seeing it more of the cold detachment of a scientist and curiosity. And so that's basically how part of Spock's character was born. So we talk about DC Fontana and Gene Coon, Gene Roddenberry, and Leonard Nimoy helping to make Spock, but Theodore Sturgeon too. The direction is also a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who directed Where No Man Has Gone Before? Like that, it being the second pilot and Leonard Nimoy being invited back, I always go to that. And again, it's something of a touchstone for the relationship between Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, is when they're playing chess and then Jim says, "Annoyed, Mr. Spock?" And then he's like, "Annoyed. Ah, yes, one of your human emotions or Earth emotions." And so
Earth
there
emotions.
is,
and then he does.
is emotional.
He knows about it.
Emoting.
Yeah, he is, definitely. And that's why he says that Spock isn't fully correct in that, because he's obviously smirking, he's obviously amused, and that he's not quite Spock yet in that case, but that's still developing. Something great about that is that that's also where he mentions there's human in his ancestry, and of course Kirk makes the joke about the bad blood and everything, but it's still really pretty important. The director for Where No Man Has Gone Before is
James Goldstone.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there was anything that I recognize some of his work in films here and there.
Now, I don't know if I'm okay to play this or not, but you know what? Whatever. We're going crazy today. Let's do it.
Fascinating. 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 Fascinating things. Fascinating. 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 Fascinating.
You know what? Yeah, I'll probably not do that. If they didn't have the theme song overlaying it, I'd play the whole thing.
Loved it.
It's great, and it goes on all the way to 74. So there are 74 times.
74.
And then I decided to cap it off with this.
Please, Spock, do me a favor, and don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.
Madman.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Tardy to the party.
Yeah, hello and welcome. No, you're just on time, and I'm glad to see you. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
You've got a cage, Mr. Spock, here.
Yes, I do.
So thank you for joining us. We're talking anything about Leonard Nimoy or Spock.
Well, here's one thing I do want to bring up.
Sure.
He was in a movie. Most people, he's not even credited, but he is in the movie. Have you ever heard the movie Them?
The Ants?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Giant ants.
The Giant Ant movie.
DJ, I can hear you. Sorry.
Leonard Nimoy was in the movie. He played a military officer. It's a scene where basically it's where they're gathering the information. A gentleman's at the board, takes a message off the board and gives it to the secretary. Said, "Oh, these are the crazy things that are going on in Texas right now, situation. And that's Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, I
very
spotted him
young-
the last time I watched them. Yeah, he did look very young.
Very, very young in this movie.
One of the things
Wow.
that I am remiss in terms of my Leonard Nimoy appreciation is I've never seen the 1970s Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh,
You
wow.
should
It's
see
super
that.
creepy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
It's-
so fantastic.
They're both
It's
good.
great. And there is something there's a really interesting thing about it in that movie that you can tell somebody's been snatched because they are devoid of emotion. And you can see the parallel there. And so that's a fun thing.
Well, technically, there are 3 Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
No,
There's a
there's
third.
more than that.
No, technically from the original story, there were two remakes made.
I know that they have the Kevin McCarthy one. I know they have the Donald Sutherland / Leonard Nimoy one.
Right.
I
and then there's
know that there is one in the late 80s, early 90s, and I don't
on
know
a
who's in
military
that one.
base. Yes.
And then there is one with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
And
that's like unofficial, but yes.
so
I've
those are the only
seen-
only ones that I know about.
I've only seen the one with Leonard Nimoy. So that's
Oh, the McCarthy one is excellent also. I mean, for the
I'm
time
sure.
period that came out for science fiction, well advanced, special effects wise.
nice. And so, but he was also on other TV shows too, which one of them was The Man from U.N.C.L.E., in which he starred alongside William Shatner, and they only had one scene together during that one. And William Shatner's kind of funny in that one because he's like a drunk and everything.
And then
Like a
of course,
playboy.
his seasons on Mission Impossible as Paris.
Right.
He was
Right.
fantastic. If for those of you out there who've never seen a Mission Impossible episode with Leonard Nimoy, go watch it. He is so good. I mean, his range of acting in it. The characters he pretends to play as this agent. Oh my God, it's just so amazing.
I
Well,
learned
and-
today that Leonard Nimoy was considered for the original cast of Mission Impossible, and Martin Landau was considered for Spock originally too. So those two guys were sort of interchangeable in the minds of casting directors in that era.
Tall, stoic,
Dark,
severe.
lantern jaw.
Ooh, good words. Lantern jaw. Like it. But that's, yeah. Oh, and Tim, we did talk about In Search Of, so thank you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, maybe, and also a lesser known movie, I guess I'd never heard of it before until researching yesterday, was Zombies of the Stratosphere from 1952, in which that's one of Leonard Nimoy's earlier movies.
I know that one very well.
And you do in the 12 chapter serial Zombies of the Stratosphere. Oh man.
Yeah, I think
It's a serial.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those
Wow.
old movie theater serials that they chapter like Flash Gordon, Conquerors of the Universe.
And you're lucky if you dig your way out of a role like that. I think.
Yeah. He played a
Having that one
Martian.
on your credits.
I want to see this though. Is it good?
No, of course not. But of course,
No.
everything leads your path in a certain direction. When you
Yes.
look back at any actor's list of credits, you can kind of just see how one role leads to another, and that's all part of what brought Nimoy to Spock.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
if you want to see something good with Leonard Nimoy, he was a villain in the Columbo TV series,
Yeah.
Stitching Crime.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Yeah, Stone
performance there,
Racket
too.
showed me a couple of. I have seen precisely 2 episodes of Columbo, and yeah, so that was one of them, and yeah, so I saw the Shatner one and the Nimoy one. So,
But that's also
Yay.
such a different environment for both of those actors, but specifically because we're talking about Leonard, is like it's so nice to him, or nice for us to be able to see him shake off the shackles of the stoicism of Spock. I love Spock as a character, but I do also enjoy seeing an artist sort of flex his range, which makes it more interesting. And that's why I brought up the Transformers stuff, is he's just going ham as a voice actor, and he's doing such a great job. He's doing work in terms of just emoting and exploding with anger and rage. It's so interesting to hear someone who you've heard sort of in the same character for a long time do something so different. It reminds me of when it's like, I like Tony Stark, like I like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, but I am hungry for every other Robert Downey Jr. performance because I want to see where he can go and what he does. And so it's the same thing with Leonard Nimoy. It's like, I love Spock, but I want to see where else he goes. And sometimes it's like, wow, that's great.
Have you ever seen Fringe?
I don't like Joshua Jackson.
Oh,
Fuck
love Josh
Casey.
Jackson.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, I was a big Fringe fan, and it's funny because I hardly remember a thing about it, and I was a big fan at the time.
Leonard
Hated
Nimoy
that
was
last
in it.
season. Absolutely loathed it.
Yeah, I can't remember anything about Fringe, but apparently Leonard Nimoy was a character in several episodes.
Yeah, it's basically that there's these experimentations that's going on the human race.
And there's a cow
group, and yeah, there's a cow. And basically, they create a group to investigate it, and it just leads into alternate dimensions. I mean, the people involved in it that were involved in it back then are creators of some of the really bad stuff today. And he said, "Wow, they went from Fringe, which was excellent, to really bad media entertainment today."
I haven't looked into it, but I seem to remember that a lot of the people on Fringe were people who did a lot of great episodes of X-Files. So I would argue that, but I have not looked into it. I thought that Fringe was science fiction. And how can you hate Joshua Jackson? This is a diversion. One of the Comic Cons, I think it was when Fringe was on and he was on it. Joshua Jackson showed up outside and set up just, folding tables and helium balloons and put up a big banner that said PaceyCon. You just have to love that. That's guts. I mean, he was out there working it too.
Yeah, you have to remember it was J.J. Abrams and Alex Kurtzman was involved in Fringe.
Well,
I don't hate JJ. I don't hate JJ.
No,
and
Robert Orsi was.
Some people call him
Robert
the cinematic
Love that
Antichrist.
Yeah,
basically.
some of the best
Bob
stuff
Orsi.
he's done.
Bob Orsi got he took the short straw, but I don't know. There's something about that. I think it was Lost Hangover is when I found out Fringe was from the creators of Lost. I was like, okay, so there's never going to be a resolution. Thanks, bye. And from what I understand, there was never a resolution in Fringe.
They tied up Fringe really tight, but I hated the direction
my
they
mistake,
went in.
my mistake.
They went in a terrible direction the last season. But
I feel like they didn't tie
and
it
they
up
tied up
because
Lost too.
It got really boring. Like Fringe,
not satisfying.
I don't know what it was. It
For
just
me.
lost my attention.
Well, you know what it was? It was Fox at that time, and still does today too. They when they do science fiction, they don't know how to handle science fiction. They've gone through several science fiction shows that just literally cost them too much money, but they were well written, well done, and then suddenly they were like, they just gave up on it and allowed it. I mean, another example, Space Above and Beyond, one of the great science fiction TV shows out there, and they just allowed it to die.
Well, you could argue the Orville as well.
That's not the same thing because wasn't Space Above and Beyond a one and done?
No, it wasn't a one and done.
Wonder?
Fox just let it be a one and done. It was supposed to go beyond the.
But that's not the same thing as a show running itself into the ground. Those are two different things.
Well, no, it's just Fox just didn't allow it. It just basically they started cutting back on the production itself. And just
but that's Firefly syndrome. Again, those are two different things.
Firefly,
and
you can't compare that to Lost.
Fox
no, it's not
Lost.
No, it's not Lost. No, Space and Beyond.
Yeah,
nothing
yeah. I would definitely agree. There's a difference between a show running itself into the ground and losing money for production and having a budget. But I want to interrupt you with a joke from Franco Walker, a bad joke. What does the Enterprise run on? I yelled back, back in the 80s, dilithium crystals, and they said, no, Spock plugs. Oh.
I thought Jedi Master left.
I
because of his accent. Spock plugs.
Oh, I get it now.
That's a good one.
That actually works better when you say it like that.
No, but we're not here. We're not here to dissect the careers of JJ.
No.
Yeah, well, and obviously they only got worse.
No.
Now I have a question, and I've asked this before, but I'm just curious because there are new people on the panel, new people in the chat, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a member, wait longer. We're hoping to get those memberships back up and running shortly.
Yeah, don't remind me. I'm trying to forget about that right now.
Unfortunately, Spock is in the engine room, and you better get down here. Better be quick. But did you guys ever hear?
Already.
Oh, you'll flood the whole compartment. So did you guys ever hear the Spock versus Q, the radio drama?
Yes.
They did it live.
No.
Yes.
I gotta
it's
find
beautiful.
that now. Ooh,
It's on
It's
YouTube.
the funniest thing I've ever heard. I can't remember it, but it is. Yeah, Spock and Q meeting. He definitely is one of the greatest things ever.
Oh,
But there is a live performance. I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat. We can't play it live, obviously.
Obviously,
because
no,
it's an
and it
hour
would take too long. First of
Yeah.
all,
But I'll find that. I'll be back in a sec.
the coolest thing in them, says Phantom Outsider. Hello, Phantom. Was the performance of the little girl in the very beginning. She really sold the fear of the ants.
Damn. That
Oh,
scream is just it's ear piercing, but very well done.
Well, there was also Invasion of the Body Snatchers nod in Airplane when Stryker gets out of the back of the truck and the airport there's pods in the truck.
That's right. Oh my God, yes, that's right.
Landau Spock, interesting. All right, so Fringe was fantasy, not sci-fi, says this to Phobos, and Fringe made no sense at all. Then I found out it's by JJ, says Franco. I thought it was fun for a while, and then it stopped being fun, and so I guess I didn't actually see how that story concluded. It was fantasy the same way Kurtzman Trek is fantasy. Oh, Fringe is not as bad as Kurtzman Trek, but okay. It was a JJ bad robot mystery box garbage. Very good, very well, very well. Thank you, Mr. Phobos. Fringe started off well, but fizzled, and I lost interest. Yeah, same here. That's exactly how I felt about it. There were any moments that were good were because of Orsi. Yeah, as was mentioned. Yeah.
I just got back into a series that was done by the Babylon 5 creator J. Michael Straczynski with Luke Perry called Jeremiah on there. If you ever heard of that one, really good, really good for anyone out there that wants to see some really good science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about the world, the end of the world, where basically all the adults were killed by a disease. It's 15 years later, and the world is surviving by children.
So like Mary. No.
So yeah, to like Mary, yeah.
Except they're probably not 300 years old.
No.
Hello to Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Kapla. Won't be here long. Very busy. Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to say hello, Gorilla. That means a lot. And Canadian Spider-Man says, they are not the hell your whales. One of the best science fiction characters in all of history. Yes, agreed. But I have those clips because Star Trek 4 is my favorite movie ever. And yeah, okay, I brought you back automatically. That's good. Let's see. But not that time. Okay, let's see. Where's the whales?
There be whales here.
Yeah, I think I brought them all up here. Here they are.
They like you very much, but they are not the hell your whales.
Yeah.
I just love when Spock just throws those antidotes out there, just on old Earth, to just basically, it doesn't suit well for Vulcan, but when Spock says it, you gotta laugh.
It works. It works. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Nimoy understood the humor of Spock and
Mhm.
was able to. He could even. I wonder how many times he's even come up with lines for Spock that they put in the script. I don't think he always takes credit for that because he does understand him very well. He even can speak to him in his mind if you read "I Am Spock." There's so many instances where he's talking to himself as Nimoy versus Spock, and it is the most delightful thing. I wish there was more of it. I needed like a regular podcast where it's just Nimoy talking to Spock.
Nimoy was a really good writer too. He wrote beautifully. I don't believe anything he did was written by someone else. I believe he wrote everything that he wrote.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he had a ghostwriter. That would make sense to me. And here's from Muck Time. Let's play this.
After a time, you may find that having is not so pleasing a thing after all as wanting. It is not logical, but it is often true.
And Canadian Spider-Man says he's on his way out as well. Oh, have a great day. Canadian Spider-Man, thank you also for dropping by.
Yeah.
And that
look.
mock. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that. There's a link here. Spock versus Q. You want to watch that later? That's going to be, you're going to have a ball listening to that.
Oh, great. I have something to eat to listen to while I have dinner tonight.
Nice.
But what I was going to say, a mock in time, I love it. But you understand the Enterprise TV series, they brought T'Pau in, a younger T'Pau. I like that they introduced that into the Enterprise TV series on Vulcan, and what she was doing in that.
Yeah,
time
right.
period.
You definitely get to be playful with Vulcans because of their longer lifespans.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense.
But did you know that also Leonard Nimoy did a how can you say it, a supernatural mystery film called Baffled?
Baffled?
It's starring him and Vera Miles. He plays a race car driver that's having hallucinations that turns out to be psychic premonitions.
Oh wow! No, I hadn't heard of this movie. There's so many things to look at, and you've seen it. You enjoy this one?
I saw it a long time ago. I have to re-see it. I've been going through a whole list of movies that I've seen that I loved, and I'm going back again to rewatch them to refresh my memory on a lot of this stuff, because on my show, a lot of times I talk about the old stuff, and try to infuse that to people that have never seen it before, say, hey, listen, go see this, go see that, you'll enjoy it, especially if you're looking for something different, something new that you've never seen before.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Mhm.
And apparently he obviously plays against type. He's smiles frequently during this movie, and he apparently provides some. I guess he's the comic relief. I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen it. That's great. That's good. It's always great to hear about all the different things he's done. T'Pau had a good rock band too. Rebecca Gold. Hello, Rebecca Gold. Nimoy is the greatest of all time when it comes to Star Trek. Agreed. He is my favorite Star Trek character. And we've got... yeah, I love quotes like this.
I object to intellect without discipline.
And yeah, so that one, of course, is the Trelane episode, Squire of Gothos, and then we also have...
Insufficient facts always invites danger, Captain.
Yeah, and it's just a great philosophy on life and science.
The universe and
In critical
everything.
moments, men sometimes see exactly what they wish to see.
Yep.
Now Leonard Nimoy was a Transformer.
Yeah, 2 actually.
2, that's right. He did Dark of the Moon, and he did the 1986 Transformers, the movie opposite the great Orson Welles.
Unicron.
Yes, and he played Galvatron on Megatron's replacement.
And that's the thing, is that there are, I'm sure, obviously, people who are coming to Jill's channel are big fans of Star Trek and big fans of Spock, but there are so many people. I remember talking to a guy who was a huge Transformers fan, and I was like, well, I used to watch it. I kind of liked it. I had Soundwave or Shockwave. I forget which one. What was the tape player?
That would be Soundwave.
So, and I was like, I had Soundwave, and we danced around. It's like, and your girlfriend said that you were a nerd. And I was like, oh, your girlfriend said you were a Transformers nerd. And then finally we connected on Leonard Nimoy when it was like, oh, Galvatron. And it was like, yay, now we can be friends.
Glad you guys figured that out. But yeah, I still haven't gotten into that, but now I do want to see it just for him. And you're mentioning,
well, the animated, like I said, the voice cast alone is so excellent for that movie. And to listen to the last movie Orson Welles ever made, because after this he passes away. This is the last movie he ever makes.
Yes. Oh, Parmesan. From the finest French grapes. Or California grapes, actually. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. See, Rebecca Gold. Hey, what's going on, Ian? Rebecca Gold says that Nimoy played William Bell in Fringe. That was a great TV show. It seems that Fringe is rather divisive or divisive. Your pronunciation may vary, but I was never on board with it, but it sounds like there are a lot of people who were.
Mhm. Definitely. Well, you were mentioning earlier,
Nemesis of
Nicholas.
Eden.
Oh, hello, Nemesis of Eden. You were mentioning Nicholas Meyer earlier, and he's finally coming up in my notes here. And I forgot I wanted to mention this. Whenever I reviewed Star Trek 4, I did not have this trivia. Nick gave a line to the character Jillian where she says, I have a photographic memory. I see words. And Leonard Nimoy thinks that Nick was talking about himself when he wrote that line. That he has a photographic memory where words are concerned, and he can recall words, phrases, and entire passages of literature perfectly and rattle them off without hesitation. So that's pretty great. I didn't realize Jillian's character came a bit from Nick himself.
She's a Mary Sue. No, I kid.
What?
I'm just busting chops.
Oh, you like to do that. Anyway. And I don't know. I just love that movie, and it's great. Well, let's see what's going on here. I wanted to see what. Oh yeah, that is Spock's mind is basically a clean slate at that point.
Well, and it is one of my favorite lines from Dr. McCoy throughout the movies. I liked him better before he died.
Well,
that is one of my favorite movies.
But his his spirit, it was inhabited by McCoy, so I'm wondering just how much of McCoy is in Spock now, in his spirit. It's
Well, but
interesting to
that's
think about.
and
Or was he just a container and it didn't matter?
But that sort of opens the door, because I think one thing that we haven't really talked about is Unification Part 1 and 2 with the Next Generation. And you're teased It's like, we got to get to Romulus to find Spock. We got to get to Romulus to find Spock. And you find him at the end of the episode, and then you got to wait a week. Obviously, less time than waiting for Best of Both Worlds Part 2. And also the episode that was dedicated to the passing of Gene Roddenberry, as it happened, but briefly before. And so, like, when Spock and Data and Picard all interact, like, I can't believe that Denise Crosby got to be in that scene. And it's like, if I
like that they brought her back as Tasha Yar's daughter. That's like the
Sela.
Romulan. I mean, but fantastic, better part for her in this. I'm glad that they wrote her back in this way.
And agreed. Absolutely. But it's also one of those things where, who was I seeing? I saw somebody in a movie recently, and I was like, can you believe you're in a scene with, like, Sean Connery? You're just a young whippersnapper who went on to be a bigger actor. I apologize for forgetting the secondary actor's name. And in fact, you can fill in, Mark Harmon to, like, Sam Rockwell acting with Gene Hackman, and, like, so many things. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, no, Denise Crosby and Leonard Nimoy shared a scene, which is, it's one of the happiness that I have about Star Trek. It's when, I like when Guinan and Chekhov meet. I'm like, yee! Makes me happy.
There is a Carol Burnett episode.
Yes, sir.
A bit that they did with Harvey Korman and Carol Burnett called The Invisible Man Returns. And basically they do this whole funny bit, and they ring at the doorbell, and they said, oh, there's a package here. There's a serum in here that's going to cure your invisibility. So Harvey Korman goes, oh my God, let me try it. And he goes he sounds like he's going into the back room, takes the drink. He says, honey, you'll have to try this on the baby because the baby's invisible. And he says, it's worked. You hear him walking back out, but who's walking back out? Leonard Nimoy, just off the set of Star Trek in complete costume.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. That's pretty
Doesn't say an entire word. It just basically everybody laughs, and it just fades to the next scene.
That's pretty cool. No, I would not know that one.
He did a lot. There's a whole list of stuff that he did off to the side. Most people don't know.
Rebecca Gold says Leonard Nimoy was very creepy in Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake. And Herc 130's here. Hello to Herc 130. Oh,
hey,
well,
Herc.
speaking of things that Leonard's done that nobody knows, Angry Video Game Nerd reviewed Seaman on Sega Dreamcast. I'm obviously not going to play his video, but I'm going to play the intro.
What was the name of that game again? That name of the game again?
Seaman.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That was better. I know it's Friday. It's Filthy
Hello.
Friday.
Welcome to the laboratory.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you did hear it. Okay, good.
Welcome to the laboratory of Jean-Paul Gasset. This is your second visit today. It is good to have you back so soon.
Okay, they didn't really show any gameplay there. I was wondering about gameplay. Let's
Well,
see.
I don't. If I remember Seaman, it doesn't necessarily have him. Maybe he does. I don't know. You know what? I don't remember Seaman.
No, I don't either.
What's up,
Seaman?
See, that's why I don't
was
remember
led
it.
to believe I would be.
It's terrifying. Look at that.
There was some weird stuff on Dreamcast back in the day.
Yeah, it's
a human face on a
definitely
fish.
weird thing. It is a human face on a fish.
Jill, I already have trouble sleeping.
Okay, I'll get rid of it.
Then I advise you don't watch The Meaning of Life by Monty Python.
Oh yeah. Well.
with the fish scene.
Yeah, no, and definitely James Rolfe's video, Angry Video Game Nerd, is great for explaining that game. It's kind of like, I guess it's pet game, like I don't know if it's
Like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, kinda, but it's very strange.
Well,
I thought
yeah.
Scotty was well acquainted with C.
Ba-dum-bum.
Thanks, Gavin. I love that bit in the JJ Star Trek movie. That this is Rebecca Gold talking. I don't love anything in the JJ movies. Rebecca Gold loves that bit in the JJ Trek movie where Spock meets Spock, young Spock. Father? Old Spock? I am not our father.
Yeah.
Cool line.
Well, and that's, and that's
Oh,
a
he thought he
thing. I
was
know
Kirk?
I'm playing with fire right now, but the idea is like I enjoy
That's kind of a dumb line,
JJ.
actually.
You don't like that line.
Well, because he mistook him for Sarek. He doesn't really look like his father. It doesn't make sense.
He does say that as Spock is walking away, so it is from the back of his head.
Oh, okay.
I
But I
mean,
do.
I don't
like
think
that. I
anybody
like
ever
that-
really expects to meet themselves. That's part of
Yeah.
it too.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah,
the
except-
bridging
yeah,
of the gap
alright.
between the original series and the Kelvin timeline. I think that actually does work, and we've had this conversation many times before. I like 1 and 3. I don't like 2, except for
See,
Carl
and I like
Urban.
1 and 2, but I don't like 3.
And I don't like any of them.
Well,
And it's Jill's show.
No,
It's
should
true.
probably
But you
move
guys are
on.
allowed. But you guys are allowed to like it. It's just.
but Leonard Nimoy was
yeah.
in the first 2.
I love Leonard Nimoy.
I'm trying to remember. There was a comedy bit done. I don't know if it was Futurama or something like that, where they
Mhm.
reenacted, Spock meeting Spock, but then suddenly there were more Spocks. It says it's
Oh, I'm sorry.
later from this Spock on there, and they kept going on and on. It says, okay, we're all here now. Okay, do we have the cake ready for really old Spock right now that's coming?
That'd be funny. That's great.
And
The
also,
Spock convergence.
they might have been trying to be precious there by saying, I am not our father, by riffing on, I am your father.
Oh, that's
So-
kind of.
Oh
You see
yeah,
what I'm
because the
saying?
JJ movies wanted to be Star Wars. That
There's
makes
a
sense.
little something there, maybe.
Until he actually did get the Star Wars, and then we all know what happened there. And okay, so but to get back to Leonard Nimoy, so this is kind of neat. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory, I just learned, named a 10-kilometer asteroid 4864 Nimoy, and here it is. There it is. There's the orbit of it. It's in the solar system's main asteroid belt. And I didn't know that there was an asteroid named after Nimoy. So there you go. That's fun.
It is
I think
fun.
he should get an actual planet, though. I think he should not a planet, but a dwarf planet. But anyway, yeah, you can see the orbit. It's the obviously the outermost one here. And there's Wesley,
That's what I
which is
love
fun.
about your birthday parties, Jill, is that you're giving away planets to people.
Yeah, I mean, why not? There's a lot of them out there in the Kuiper
Apparently,
Belt.
that's what I heard. In the millions and millions of galaxies, millions of stars.
Hmm. Yeah, but at least he has an asteroid. That's cool.
And
Quick,
what a
get
sweet
Scotty
ass
to the burns. Yeah.
asteroid. Sorry,
I
what?
guess Dragon Slayer Jill could review for my birthday. Oh, Jamie, you want me to review Dragon Slayer? Interesting idea. I'll put it down and see what I think about it. Thank you.
That is the last fantasy movie that I purchased in my let's see if Scott likes fantasy movies.
I thought so. I was thinking about
And that is the only one that I have not yet seen.
Mhm.
Good
And
movie.
Rebecca Gold loves the original Star Trek films. And my favorite is Star Trek 3. I like that movie more than 2. And Leonard Nimoy did a fantastic job directing it. He absolutely did, definitely. And
Well, and Becky, I was gonna say that while I do exalt Star Trek 5 for being very, very much like the original series. I think Star Trek 3 is also very, very much like the original series, especially with having the villains be the Klingons. So I'm with you. Star Trek 3 is great. I hope you don't mind me calling you Becky.
I was about to say, I take it you know Rebecca well?
Not well.
Then you should not be using a nickname for her. Unless
Okay.
she uses it herself.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Star Trek 3 is great. And since we're using proper pronouns, would this be Nimoy's hemorrhoid? No, I guess.
Oh no! Instead of asteroid, instead
of asteroid.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. I was like, wait, why am I reading this?
You also got to remember
now
in
I
Star
get
Trek 3, Christopher Lloyd was a Klingon. And if you listen
Yes, he was.
carefully, when he talks in English, think back to Taxi as Reverend Jim.
Ah.
And his spaceship is a bird of prey was
time
used
machine.
is used as a time machine in the next movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's an omission in my pop culture references. I think that's the last television show before I became aware of television that my parents really liked. And like, I think my mom was a Judd Hirsch fan. But yeah, no, I never really got into Taxi at all. And so Reverend Jim, Andy Kaufman,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Danza, Hold Me Closer.
I know one comedian made fun of it a long time ago, and he goes like, says, "Yeah, you heard Christopher Lloyd talking Klingon, and then you get to the English, and you won't give me the Genesis device, Abracuk, okie doke." Because it just literally even though he's a straight man in this movie, but yet that voice is just is either Doc Brown or Reverend Jim.
But that's also like Star Trek 3 does have the benefit of both John Larroquette from Night Court and Christopher Lloyd from Taxi. And I think that was one of those things in reference to what Leonard Nimoy was trying to do at the beginning of his career, when he was trying to sort of shroud himself in prosthetics so he could really inhabit the characters, and so that he wouldn't be recognized and he could jump from role to role to role to role. And when it comes to John Larroquette and Christopher Lloyd, I admire their tenacity in terms of being able to undergo so much prosthetics, but also to be sort of concealed by those prosthetics, and then just have their performances be what the story served. And so I do admire it. I think it's great.
It was so great because Christopher Lloyd took the Klingon very seriously, and he wanted to get everything exactly right, and so definitely that's why his performance is appreciated verbally as well as how he performed it.
You
physically.
said you'd kill me.
I lied.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, that was a different Klingon.
Yeah,
that was Maltz.
That was Maltz.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Holy chew.
There you go.
Your name is Jim.
So there was another thing. Yeah, so the directing, he directed and acted, so he had to be Spock and direct, and he thought, I'll just get here at my normal time and try to get in my Spock makeup in between whenever there's time, but there was never time. He was always doing something as a director, so he had to start. He couldn't go there at 7 anymore. He had to get there by 5 to get all his makeup on and be Spock the whole day. And so that was definitely something that and fortunately he learned that before Star Trek 4, because he was in that movie way more than he was in Star Trek 3. And so there's I wanted to go back to these clips right here.
Spock, what is it that will buy you? Power?
Fascinating.
Power, Spock! I can get that
Mirror.
So we get to see regular Spock, and then of course we get to see Mirror Spock.
You would find me a formidable enemy.
I'm aware of that, Captain. I trust that you are aware of the reverse.
And then of course
one of my very favorite episodes of Community deals with alternate realities and kind of shows you a series of events that just happen depending on who walks in a door. And at the end, they end up in the darkest timeline. And at some point, one character cuts out little mirror Spock beards and hands them out to everybody sitting at the table. And they all kind of glue them on their face.
What? I thought Community
because
was
they're in the darkest timeline. Yes.
What are they? Okay. Oh, it's just like, what are they doing? Are they in theater or something?
No. It's.
They're rolling dice and they're talking about chaos theory. It's really interesting.
Okay. Oh, they're playing a game. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not a game. It's actual different realities depending on which die comes up.
What? Nobody ever told me Community was.
I'm going to have to send you. I'm going to have to send you. The name of it. It's really wonderful.
Community is Rick and Morty for adults who are childish.
Community
and Rick and Morty is for
Morty is
children.
Mega. It's mega references to popular culture. That's the wonderful thing about Community.
Well, Community, I have a higher regard.
Okay, interesting. I do like Rick and Morty, so maybe I'll give it a try.
I do love that Star Trek Continues rehashed that Mirror episode with Dark Spock.
Well, Madman, I don't mean to. I'm gonna shove you in the shoulder for a second.
Okay.
Do you think they rehashed, or do you think that they sort of successfully adapted a continuation of that original story?
Successfully. Because it was, you wonder what happened when what happened in the dark universe when the original Kirk and them returned back to the Dark Enterprise. You wonder what happened. Yeah, the mirror universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked that.
Deep Space Nine always hashed back a little bit on that as well. That basically. They said, well, now it's against the law. If anybody's found that they're from the alternate universe, we must kill them because of what, they convinced Spock to do. But you never knew what Spock did to change the universe onto there. And Star Trek Continues episode, now you know what happened.
I do like what they did with Star Trek Continues, but I'm not as happy with what they did with Deep Space Nine. Because they kind of make Spock a little bit dumb, saying that, oh, we want to be peaceful now, so we get rid of our weapons, and that's not what being peaceful is, because that's not even how peaceful is defined in Star Trek. You can go for peace, but you have to be able to defend yourself.
Defensive
so I think I think Deep Space Nine kind of missed the mark there. Although it is kind of funny that in every episode, a Ferengi has to die.
Well, yeah, you know what? I like those. I like those Mirror Universe Deep Space Nine episodes as novelty episodes. But I'd have to rewatch them because it's been a while because they are novelty episodes that I don't really give a good.
And sure, and one of the dumbest things is that one of the things becomes real.
Yeah, that's stupid. But one of the things that really bothers me about it, well, not bothers me, intrigues me, because I haven't seen it in a while, is didn't the Mirror Universe outlaw transporters? They were like, we can't do transporters anymore because we're just inviting people from their mirror universe, which is our real universe. Like, don't forget, if you're in the Mirror Universe, that's just your universe. I think it's interesting for exploration purposes, but in terms of everything that they've done with it, because they think it's dark and gritty, yay! It's like, calm down, guys, calm down.
Oh, yeah.
No, the
Kira had a lot of fun with those, though.
Yes. and she was hot and sexy.
Yes, I'm gonna play just this one thing since we mentioned Deep Space Nine and I haven't played it yet.
Those eyes.
Kirk had quite the reputation as a ladies' man.
Not him. Spock.
Yeah.
Ain't it the truth?
Dax had a little thing for Spock.
Dax speaks for me.
Well, but
Dax
here's
speaks
the
for all
interesting.
women.
Here's the thing, because Jill, you watched an episode of Becker with Leonard Nimoy.
Did not
did you
watch
not?
the whole episode. I just watched the clip in which Leonard Nimoy was a part, and it was funny. It was very, very good. It was pretty great. Let me see where it is in my notes.
And the thing
he's,
is that when
he
you
plays
when
a
you
professor who's signing books, and Becker was one of his students, and he cannot remember Becker at all. And
Becker
that's
being
the
played by Ted Danson. But one of the funny things
Mhm.
that I found about that, you sent me the clip. I did not watch it. And then you were like, I can't with Terry Farrell because she doesn't have the spots. And then you
Oh, I
have
was kind of just joking.
the goal to play an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where Dax does not have the spots.
Well, and that's because she can't, because that'll give her away. So that makes sense. But
Well, the other thing with Deep Space Nine is how many times can you kill Jeffrey Combs in an episode?
As many times as we want.
as many times as you can clone him. You just
Yeah.
clone
Well,
him
not
over
only
and over.
cloning him, he was also a couple of Ferengis and other aliens.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that's right.
series.
That's right. Yeah, Brunt is fun.
And
Brunt's
Dorian,
played
let's get
Brunt.
some Shran going on over here.
Oh yeah, in Star Trek Enterprise,
His best
definitely.
role is Shran.
Thank you,
Mm.
Pinkskin. No, I love it. But we are supposed to be focused. I'm gonna go have a
Yeah.
cigarette and recollect myself, and then you guys will be talking about the absolutely wonderful photography in terms of body positivity that Leonard Nimoy did release in the early 2000s, just about female body shapes in the nude. And it was something that was to celebrate the female form in the face of maybe unrealistic expectations of mass media. And I think that Leonard Nimoy did something wonderful about that. You guys talk about naked ladies. I'll be back in a second.
And well, okay, Max Redstone mentioned that earlier too, and so thanks for bringing it up again. And I think it was somebody. I think the story was that a lady asked to get her picture taken, and he did, and that's what gave him the idea to celebrate the
I
human
think that was
form.
Shakira.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it was Shakira, the book. And I'm remembering that.
Hmm.
Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes. There's a book photography by Leonard Nimoy representing the feminine side of Jewish divinity as visualized via the imagery of a woman with commentary on Jewish tradition and scripture provided by David Kuspik.
Yeah, and there is some nudity, as Scotty mentioned. So, but I did find an article where there isn't any, so I could show this one, which I didn't bring it up last time when Max mentioned it the first time. So let's bring that up. Because why not? So yes, I did want to mention his photography because we do have a poll in the chat. What part of his career deserves more attention? I haven't looked at the poll in a while, so let's see. People are saying directing. They want to talk more about directing, but in second place is the photography and the poetry. And I'll show you one of his poetry books in a second too. After we look at a few of these pictures, if you can see these, yeah, you can. Let's make them a little bigger. And so, yeah, he definitely was a photographer for all the way from his teens all the way for the rest of his life. And he a Kodak autographic. Yeah. So it's a very, very classic camera. And actually published several books, not just one book. That's interesting. I haven't seen most of these. And he did a one-man show called Secret Sleeves. I guess that's where he showed off his work there. And oh, Shikina. All right. Nimoy says, my first encounter with the mystery and the power of the Shekinah took place as a little boy, perhaps 8 or 9, standing with my father, grandfather, and brother at the traditional blessing of the Orthodox Jewish service. At the height of this moment of fervent prayer, my father forbade me to look. The entire congregation had their heads covered with prayer shawls or were shielding their faces. For years, I wonder why. Hide the face. Why can't we look? Oh, that must be. Okay, I get it now. That must be the same ceremony where he learned about the what he later turned into, the Vulcan salute, if I'm reading this correctly. Eye contact. Interesting.
I was looking into that today, and I saw something that said when the hand is held in that position, the eye of God is supposed to be looking through the space between the fingers. And it's possible that you shield yourself not to encounter this directly because it's not appropriate to look God in the face in some cultures, and it might actually do you a damage. So there might be a really practical reason for shielding your face and covering your head when they're doing that, because God is supposed to be right there.
Okay, I understand all the photos I've seen, all the photography I've seen so far, but what is this one? Secret cells.
It looks like a sort of a pan.
They became powerful. Okay, what? Humans were at some point in time double-sided creatures with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs. They became powerful and arrogant, angering the gods, and Zeus cleaved everyone in 2 as punishment. What? Wow. Okay.
There's a lot of angering the gods in mythology. There's a whole lot of
Makes
that.
sense. As Aristophanes said, human nature was originally one, and we were whole. And there's the whole body project here that has been mentioned a few times. Just listening, Shatner thinks that there was a problem at the end, but I really don't think it was. I think maybe he's just too into himself to realize that Nimoy was probably just trying to spend more time with his family. That's my guess. I have to guess because I don't like to think that there was actually anything wrong there at the end because there's no indication.
I heard a story.
And there's nothing that seems around that would cause a rift that bad.
Oh, I heard a story.
Would you care to relay the legend?
I'm trying to remember it because I kind of pushed it at the back of my brain. It's not something I really want to think about. But Bill had a show on, one of those ones where old guys kind of get together and go do difficult things that are difficult for older men, you know, like white water rafting or whatever. Yeah, something like that. And he wanted Leonard to participate in some way. And I think he showed up at Leonard's front door with a camera crew. And I heard that was the straw. That was
better late than never.
Well, I think that there was a moment of there was a difference of opinion in terms of legacy versus integrity. And I think that, and I don't want to speak for anyone, but if you look at the parallels of the careers of Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner, then yes, it's part of the reason why why Leonard took pokes at Shatner in things like the Lazy Day song by Bruno Mars. But I think that was with participation of Bill. Like
They
they're
yeah, they did it together. They usually when they
story
would do that.
the story that I heard was that there was like when Leonard Nimoy's funeral occurred, that was at the same time as a charity I don't hack, which is what they call doing horses and stuff. So there was a thing where William Shatner was doing a
And he sent
had
his
a prior
daughters
commitment. He had a
Yeah,
prior commitment.
he sent his daughters in his place, but also he says that he didn't feel welcome. But I don't know why.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of thing where it's like there may have been a little bit of a falling out, and I think it did have something to do with commerce versus personal integrity, which is something that even the most devout to both William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy can agree is that, yeah, William Shatner has been more of a showman. And Leonard Nimoy has, in my opinion, been more of an artist.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nimoy's definitely an artist.
I think I could say, per se, my experience in the business, 'cause I've done many productions since the 1980s. And one thing, these days, I did a lot of productions, and I knew a lot of people. Some people went on to big and better things. Some of them I stayed in contact for many years. But as the years progressed away from those original productions, we all had falling outs, and it wasn't like we fought. It was just things just stopped communicating. Some of us passed away on some of the productions that we did, and then we just stopped talking to each other. Why, I cannot explain, but it's happened to me. I don't know if it was in this situation, but it's happened to me where it's like I've lost a lot of my production friends. I only just recently got back in touch with one of my original 1986 production friend. And that's the reason we got the Peter Jurczyk interview for our show, was because of that, because he's an actor in the business. And I was like, we talked for like 2 hours. I said, why did we stop talking? I said, and he said, I don't know. We just stopped communicating.
But that's also like, and I sympathize. I understand exactly that. That's something where I have been on the receiving end of someone rolling their eyes and saying, you know what, Scott, I think it's over. And I've been like, I don't get it. We're having a blast. And then they go away, and then I'll try and get in touch with them after the fact. And then they're like, no. And they're not mean. They're not rude. It's just like, no. And it's like, you're a square. I don't want to play anymore. And so it's nothing. It's no animosity. It's just a matter of a divide based on the state of your life.
The camaraderie and esprit de corps that you can establish during.
There's another possibility. It's along the lines of what Tiger Stripe said, and it was because he was doing a documentary called The Captains, where it was interviewing people, and he wanted Nimoy to be in part of it, but he refused. And Shatner got a cameraman to film Nimoy during a convention and use that in his movie without permission, and that's pretty bad.
That's
now there
definitely
is
very much a Leonard thing. He did not want things done without his permission.
Yes, yeah. And also there is the Captain's Summit. I think it's called the Captain's Summit. It's free on YouTube. And it's Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, William Shatner, and Leonard Nimoy.
Although I am guilty of thinking that convention videos are for us to share myself, so I didn't really think about that.
Well, the thing that I'm reading that this AI is saying, I don't like relying on AIs because they make rubbish up.
So
but it says that
they
Shatner's
probably
crew
did
secretly filmed Nimoy at a convention.
Yeah. No, but that's not AI. I'm not using AI. I'm using actual research.
Clearly, that is a violation of what Nimoy wanted. So yeah, that's sounds.
Nimoy's Gone Wild.
Possible.
Produced by William Shatner.
But that's
And
one little thing.
Well, one little thing. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say to Tony Stark in the chat, who says, "Give my upload some love if you get some time. They are underperforming." Well, no, they're not underperforming. They're reaching your audience, and I hope that they connect with the people that you're sending them to. And yeah, Eugene Bird, go head over to the matinee on T Stark CEO, Stark of Iron. I am very, very happy. I cannot express my happiness in a matinee occurring during the daytime. Thank you so much there.
Yeah, you noticed. And yeah, it's great to see you, Tony. I haven't quite reached where you are in the chat just yet. And yeah, you're welcome to come up if you need to. And Leonard Nimoy was also Mission Impossible. He had a guest role on Columbo. Yep. He sure did.
But like, what's the most obscure thing that you've ever seen Leonard Nimoy show up in? And it's like, what? What are you doing?
Duckman.
Really? He was in Duckman?
As himself.
Oh, now you're making me think of the animated stuff, even though we talked about the Transformers. Okay, so Duckman, but also he was in the monorail episode of The Simpsons.
That's right. Where Duckman has gone before. That's the episode.
Right, and he makes a Star Trek joke. Yeah.
Yep.
He was also, wasn't he in the Star Trek convention episode of Futurama as well?
Yeah, okay, so for The Simpsons, yes, he was in Marge versus the Monorail, and he let's see. He was the narrator of a story about an alien. Later, okay, so here's the joke.
2 episodes of this. Yeah, he did 2.
I don't know,
I think it was a
Futurama.
for the
No, but
grand
I think
opening. Okay, well,
you go.
well, I don't know if I can. Okay, so for the opening of the monorail, I just wanted the joke. He said, "I'd say this vessel could do at least warp 5." Yeah, and then he was in
I like how
episode
nobody
where,
wants this. Anybody want to switch seats with this? I don't want to sit next to this guy.
and he also did one where Mr. Burns kind of looks like an alien. That's the other one.
He was in the X-Files episode? No way.
Yeah, he was in the X-Files episode.
That's awesome.
And to your point about Futurama, yes, he was in the episode. I love this episode. I want to review it one of these days, actually, called "Where No Fan Has Gone Before," and that'll be a fun time. It feels like a Saturday show.
He also did Space Pilot 3000. That's the other episode he did.
3000. Is that another Futurama episode?
That's a Futurama episode, yes.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, was he a head in a jar?
Probably he was just a head in the jar. And I think they in the episode they want him to do the Vulcan salute. So kind of can't do that without any hands.
Say, come on, do the salute.
Do the thing.
And Rebecca, I don't want to besmirch your good name by using a nickname. He was in The Big Bang Theory. I would ask for you to lemming yourself off of the White Cliffs of Dover for talking about The Big Bang Theory. That's all.
Now you know how I feel every time you mention Utrecht.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, do you want obscure with him?
Yeah.
Okay, Here we go. He worked for Disney. Now you may say,
he do?
What did he do? Back when Epcot was being created, there is a ride called Body Wars. Leonard directed a lot of the scenes that were shot for the ride Body Wars. So all the scene cuts and everything like that of the people working on them when you see the pre-show and all that, and some of the special. I think he was behind also that. He worked on the CGI too, also as a director as well. But yeah, he worked on a ride.
That's cool.
Oh, nice. That's pretty amazing. I didn't know he worked on a ride. That's pretty good.
Well, And also, it is show business, and so as long as that footage plays and he directs it, it is in perpetuity as long as it is being presented at the theme park. So good for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, they shut that ride down. It was such a good ride.
Well, how long was it on for? Do you know?
They just shut it down within the last couple of years. So we're going back to the 90s at least, I think, on that.
That's a lot of money for the estate.
No, actually,
too.
88. He shot it in 89. So basically, the ride didn't come into play until like the 90s.
Still good for him.
Yeah, it was going inside the human body. It was like a simulator that you.
It sounds like a fantastic voyage.
What's it called?
Exactly.
Body Wars?
Body Wars. Yes.
I've seen Body Wars, but it was very different.
Okay.
Yeah, it was back when Disney's rides were really good rides.
Yeah, that looks like fun.
Jamie Lynn knows
What does she know?
about the Body Wars.
Oh, motion simulator. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun.
A really rough motion simulator. Really, if you're motion sick, I would not get on this ride.
I have to get on the rides. That's the whole point. So I put a Dramamine patch on my ear, and so that takes care of the motion sickness.
Because it's like it hits hard. You're thrown back and forth.
Well, okay, so I don't know if it's called the same thing. I'm assuming, Madman, that you live in the United States of America.
Do I?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
do.
know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I do.
have
Yeah,
you
I
ever
do.
used a D box?
No,
One
not
of
that
those.
I recall.
It's like a 4D motion chair in the movie theater, and so whenever the
Yes. Years ago, yeah.
And this is the problem and this is why it's so good to do this at like theme parks and Disney World and what have you. I went to go see Top Gun Maverick. Obviously, this is a couple of years ago, and I saw it in the D box, and I was like acting like I was in like a theme park. And so anytime we were doing jet scenes or anything, I'm just sitting there with my legs straight out in the air, my arms up in the air, and I'm like, whee! And everyone in the movie theater hated the fuck out of me. Anyway.
And I'm so glad you relayed that story, because when I was buying tickets for Project Hail Mary, I had that option to get D-box seats. And I thought, okay, maybe that could be fun. But I have a 6-year-old. She will totally forget about the movie, and it'll be just about the seat, and she will go bananas just like you. And so I decided not to do that. And I thank you for your experience.
You took her to the movie with you.
So I had the wisdom not to get the D-box. Yes. Then she liked the movie. Yeah, she actually liked it. And pretty much
She would have liked it more if the chair was moving.
Yeah. And then it would, I think the same.
Then no one else would have liked the movie.
Yeah, exactly. She would have gone.
I went yesterday and I asked about the D-box when I came out. And the woman I spoke to told me that it can be turned off, which I thought was fascinating.
Oh, there is a button. Yeah, totally. But why? Why would you pay more for the
you just
moving
paid
chair?
Oh, no, you can adjust the impact too, the level of the experience.
Well,
So
you
cool.
know I turned it up to the max.
I would have asked somebody to remove you from the theater.
You know what? The friend that I went to go see the movie with was like, Scott, maybe you should go. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I sat in the parking lot.
Well, that's a sad thing.
No, it's not. I had already seen the movie, so it was fine. And I knew I had done wrong. And
Well, who paid for the ticket?
I paid for the ticket. But so Tiger, no. But the thing is that
This is not an inexpensive experience. It's like $25
it's like
bucks.
$25. $25, whatever. And I got money to burn. And so
I
the
guess
thing
you do.
is that, and that was the thing there. You know what? I'm happy to be a clown, a spectacle. But at the moment where it becomes absolutely intolerable for the people around me, I'm more than willing to be asked to leave the party.
Now the thing is, you paying $25 now, but believe it or not, this technology before this incarnation came out, the technology itself has been around since the 90s.
You can get home.
Well, that's the whole reason. That's the whole
Yeah.
reason for Universal Studios Florida. Those rides and everything. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
The Hanna-Barbera ride was one of them.
I've got Blu-rays that say, "Do you want to hook up your chair?"
Hook up your chair.
Really?
Yeah, no. I've got like if you have one and there is an opportunity, if you get the proper situation. I think even Die Hard has this. Like the Die Hard Blu-rays when they first came out. And it was like, "Do you want to hook up your D-Box chair?" And I was like, I don't even want to see how much a home D-Box chair is.
Oh my gosh, where did the time go? I accidentally went way over the time I was supposed to go. So we've got about 10 minutes to wrap this up. And Rebecca Gold says Leonard Nimoy was in the Twilight Zone episode called Equality of Mercy. Yeah, I reviewed that, and that was a pretty good episode.
I feel pretty sure he was
Yeah.
in a really excellent Outer Limits episode too, but I'm kind of blanking on that.
Was he in Outer
was in
Limits?
both. He was both in the original black and white and in the color version, the newer version. He did
Oh,
a
I like
remake
that.
of iRobot, which originally was in the original Outer Limits.
And apparently he was in
Nice.
a what's it called? Night Gallery.
That too.
This is so fantastic, Jill. Thank you so much for allowing us. And it's fun
Yeah,
to be able
thank
to
you.
hang out with you guys. Like
Yeah, it
Leonard
really
Nimoy
is.
is a legend. He's an icon and he's an artist. He is so much more. He is not Spock. And yet he is Spock.
Yeah,
And
he's
so I
both.
like
Yeah,
celebrating
he
both
made
aspects.
2 autobiographies, and they're both correct.
But I think that is something that actors, artists, if you have something that is a paramount, no pun intended, of your career, and then to be recognized for something that is, it's like, "Oh, I love this. This really connected with me." And it's like, "Oh, what are you going to say?" And it's like, not the thing you think. I like it when people are recognized for, and I don't want to say lesser known art. I just want to say, off the beaten trail. And it's like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that?"
Well, in one of
Oh,
those Dragon
wow.
Cons, we learned that Nimoy was on a episode of Raw Nerd with William Shatner, and I want to go watch that. It looks like it's a lot of fun. And Leonard Nimoy was in The Page Master. There was actually a lot of Star Trek actors in that movie: Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, Robert Picardo. So yes, that's the animated movie with that Macaulay Culkin.
Was he in Gargoyles?
He was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Okay.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy? I don't know. I didn't see that.
I don't
one.
recall,
I don't
but
think
I
so.
wouldn't
I
doubt
think-
it, considering there was a lot of Star Trek people in that series.
A lot of Star Trek people in that series. And also, I don't know what the shit the Page Master is.
The Page. I just said an animated series with an animated movie with Macaulay Culkin. It's kind of like maybe like the Neverending Story. It's about books. Anyway,
There's
it's good.
another animated series he did on Spielberg's production called Invasion America, which was like on the WB network at the time.
Ooh. I wonder if Nimoy was ever in an Amazing Stories.
Yeah, we're basically in the lightning round. You want a few more things that he's in.
Let's just go.
And he directed and executive produced. There was a series called Deadly Games, which basically was about a guy was messing around with a video game and all that, and he brought it to life into reality. And he has to hunt down all the supervillains. I think Christopher Lloyd was also in it on there. And he directed the episode Kill Shot, and he was an executive producer on the series.
Cool. That's great. And it says Nimoy created Alien Voices, an audio production venture specializing in audio dramatizations, but I don't understand what that is. Oh, okay. It was just other books. Gosh, I'll have to look into that one.
And besides In Search Of, he also did Ancient Mysteries for about 91 episodes.
That's a lot. That's pretty great.
I mean, he has extensive, for TV, Western, science fiction, drama. Oh, God, He did so much.
And it makes sense he got an asteroid because he and his wife were supporters of the Griffith Observatory. So I guess they gave to that.
Big supporters. There's a Leonard Nimoy wing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. That's wonderful. And of course, he did other video games too. He was in Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. I haven't.
He
played
was
a
in
lot
a
of those.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, he was.
Birth by Sleep and the Dream Drop Distance. He did.
That's the one with Goofy and Donald.
Yes, that's the one with Goofy and Donald.
And he also worked on Civilization 4.
Wow.
Oh, neat.
Sid Meier. Like these
Yeah,
are these
yeah. He
are
did a lot
in-
of voice stuff.
This is something where it's just like I am in awe of his cultural impact. Even if you don't know if you've encountered Leonard Nimoy, you probably have. Like there is probably some aspect about Leonard Nimoy, and it's not going to take you out of it. And all respect to Bill, but when you see William Shatner, you're like, it's Captain Kirk. And
Denny Crane.
Denny Crane. But when William Shatner, or Tech War, but when William Shatner, when Leonard Nimoy shows up, it's like, what gravitas, what bass, what incredible countenance. There is something about him that is, and he does do more outside of his own wheelhouse in terms of performance. I respect him very, very much. And the last thing I will say is I do think that he, even in his absence, he has always been the best ambassador for Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, he understands Star Trek just as well as any fan, or better. And I agree with you. He and Spock,
Not
even
just
more,
as a
so.
performer, but as a creative
Yeah.
in terms of enduring impact. And so I raise my can of PBR.
Mm.
All I have to
I don't
say
have
is
a can of beer. I drink all my coffee already. But toast. Cheers.
Prost.
Go ahead.
all I have to say is Bilbo Baggins.
King of the Wild
greatest hobbit.
Frontier.
The greatest little hobbit of them all. It's great. It even goes into Smog and everything. And thank you, Scotty and Madman and Tiger Stripes for joining us. Also, thank you to Jedi Master earlier for dropping in for a moment, and Max Redstone. Hope those tours are going well. And thank you, DJ Play Nice. I know we didn't get to hear too much from you, but thank you for joining the panel too. And definitely always welcome. Nimoy is Trek's best ambassador. Oh yeah. I agree, Gavin. I agree so much I don't even want to talk about it right now. We don't have the time.
Don't
DJ
tell me
Barney
about
G.
the time. We don't have the time.
We don't have time to talk about the time. Also, maybe I'd cosplay as Mirror Universe Kirk after hitting the gym. Ooh, that sounds great. Not shaving my chest though. Yeah, no, that's okay.
No,
That
the
was
line
Gene
with the
Roddenberry's.
episode in the Yangs. He has no heart.
Yeah, thank you. Cool stream. Thank you, Rebecca Gold. And thank you, Franco Walker. And yeah, no, Spock is my favorite character. It's just there's so many wonderful things that he's provided, and I do appreciate Leonard Nimoy as a person too. Separate from Spock and yet inexorably tied to him. So they are, as we said before, he is Spock, but he's not Spock. And the one can't exist without the other, though, and it's wonderful.
You can't have one. You can't have none. You can't have one without the. Oh, we never showed the. You know when
Well,
Spock
what-
dances around Kirk's head in Plato's Stepchildren?
Yes.
That's kind of fun. Look it up
Okay,
on your own.
And I hope everyone else also has a good Friday. Is there anything you want to promote or share, Scotty R37?
Oh yeah, no, well, based on what's going on in the chat, if Tony doesn't get some viewers, everyone will die. So go see Tony. Also, Cinema Gulp, we're going to be talking about their 10-year anniversary soon, in the beginning of April. And also, I think we're going to be talking about The Rock soon. You and I, Jill, are going to be talking about Dreamfall again tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll finish it. Probably not. And then also every Thursday night, Kat has been doing nothing but fantastic on the Phantasmagorium. So go check that out. Paul from Twin Flicks is doing his thing over on the Twin Flicks. And I am, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not your real mom.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you. Thank you, Scotty.
Live long and prosper.
What's going on with you? Is there anything you want to share?
Chill stream on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, Madman Cafe. Also next week we got a couple videos. The Crunchyroll hack. Obviously, we'll be talking about that. The social media ban for under 16 in California and Missouri. The bills that are being processed there. Also, the California verdict over Meta and YouTube. We'll be discussing that on a video. And, of course, the big win at SCOTUS for piracy, mind you. Cox Communications has defeated the $1 billion lawsuit that the recording industry tried to slam on and trying to blame it for piracy.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I didn't hear about that. Thank you. And
and
if you want to hear more, about that, check out Madman's channel, Sci-Fi.
Cutecast TV.
Cutecast TV. There it is. And we'll talk to you next time. And I hope everybody has a great Friday. Well, and peace and long life.
Farewell.
There are Vulcans who aspire all their lives to achieve what you've been given by design.
In effect, you have abandoned what I have sought all my life.